It is man.
Hello everyone! Today is a late edition of Progressive Park because I have been dealing with my garden. I just had a harvest which went really amazingly good. And I mean it. It's amazing what I got. This pumpkin 26 pounds. It's bigger than my head, bigger than my belly. It is incredibly beautiful. But that also meant that I had a busy day. So what I tried is to, you know, set the stream a bit late, so I can actually take my time and finish that. That's finished, so let's go with a bit of a good scoop of reality. The other day I was on Moira's channel and there was this guy called Beef Supreme that was getting on our nerves. It's done now, it's finished. But this is the first time that I actually witness some kind of racism in this whole affair, and it is not from the community. It is from the detractors of the community. They say that we are being tokenized, and if we are part of the community, then automatically that means we are a tool for the white supremacist to use us with the which is ludicrous. But yeah, that happened. Also, the Suez Canal incident. Well, that throws a wrench on a lot of plans for a lot of people, and I will be talking about that. The economy will have quite a bad time because of that small incident. Which, it is what it is. Yeah. At this point, the chain of supply for circuitry, for chipsets, is completely broken. We had 24 hours with a bunch of components without any movement. That means that, well, we may have a bigger shortage than before, and I mean it. That route is principal for Chinese importations of some components, so it will be hard. It will be really hard. Don't get surprised if PC parts skyrocket for next 2 years, something like that. Well, I wanted to show you something. I'm trying to get it on the screen. Sorry about that, but as I'm late, obviously, things haven't gone that smoothly. And let's go to data eraser. Let's put the monitor view. And the FTA is recalling these cutesy little parts of the Disney tragedy. They made these hand sanitizers with Yoda on them. And the tweet says, please share this info among Star Wars fans so everyone will stop using this product. Star Wars needs to issue a warning, as does the official Star Wars website, if they even give a shit. Manufactured by Best Brands Consumer Products. Manufactured by Best Brands Consumer Products. The Star Wars Mandalorian hand sanitizer were shown to have high amount of benzene. What is benzene? That's a good question. Okay, see. Oh, it's a subproduct of the generation of alcohol. And yeah, it's actually carcinogen. So, yikes. C6H6. That's propyl derivative. Fucking hell. Yeah, this is not something to joke about. If you have this kind of products, stop using them immediately. No joke there. The joke is maybe on Star Wars, because everything they do with the Star Wars is toxic. Even the hand sanitizer. Well, that's new. That's fucking new. Yeah. So I guess the Mandalorian won't be that advertised anymore, which is good. Which is really, really good. That is happening. And you know what? Only if you are using them, stop using them. Please take care of the chemical composition on whatever you are using. In this case, the alcohol degradation on the process may be the culprit of the formula failing. I haven't dealt with heavy alcohols in a long, long time, but this is normal if you are mixing glycol and methanol. You may get serious trouble. Oh, baby, that's gonna be a train wreck. I don't know what was going on Disney's head when they allowed the purchase in mass. Dude, if you are buying, and this is not some company that is actually already making the same product for you, you need to test the chemical composition of whatever you are selling. There is no joke there. It's part of your quality assurance. You should be doing the right steps to secure a good manufacturer. And Disney again is fucking up. Let's go to the next topic. Is this one. Jodie Whittaker replaced by former Doctor Who star as David Tennant link exposed. Jodie Whittaker could be replaced by former Doctor Who star who appeared on the BBC show during David Tennant's tenure as the infamous Time Lord. Jodie Whittaker isn't on Jodie Whittaker's stint on Doctor Who will reportedly come to an end when her third season as the Time Lord wraps up later this year. Hooray! When the series is already fucked. Speculations over who will replace the first female Doctor played by Jodie Whittaker, who we will lovingly call Dr. Karen. I finally made it. Has been rife and two-time Oscar-nominated actress Carey Mulligan could be set to return to the BBC show after appearing with the 10th Doctor David Tennant in an earlier season. Okay, good enough. One of Carrie's early roles in her career was in the Doctor Who episode Blink as Sally Sparrow. Blink is one of my favorite episodes, by the way. It's the whole concept of the Doctor having a conversation on a separate time frame without even being able to properly communicate. Well, it was brilliant. It was bloody brilliant, and it's the first appearance of the angels, the weeping angels. Oh man, the whole episode is amazing. The whole episode, yeah, I know it's about a video rental store and does no longer exist. But for me, that is not the matter at hand. The matter at hand is that, well, we will see her again, okay? BBC fans will remember the notoriously creepy weeping angels with Sally inadvertently helped to defeat with the dog, which, oh, okay. Sally had an interest in taking photographs in an abandoned building, but was alarmed when she found a strange message addressed to her left by the Doctor. And yeah, they are retelling the episode. They are still retelling the episode. I Might Destroy You, star Michaela Coel's odds have been cut from 6 in 1 to 11 in 2. She is joined by the comedian Richard Ayoade as the joint favorite to succeed Jodie. Okay. First of all, the Doctor need to be a man. He need to be a man. They tried to make him a woman and they failed. They don't know how to write women, so please don't. Just don't. If you don't know what you are writing, just don't write it. Wait. Well, this, first of all, tells me that there's a huge confirmation on the Doctor Who rumor about Jodie Whittaker leaving Doctor Who. That is good. That is really, really good. That means that we are only lacking, like, well, almost everything else. We are lacking get rid of Chibnall. We are lacking getting rid of the BBC as a whole. And they are asking for 150 million pounds to tackle Netflix, which shows me where they are set. They don't even know what the fuck are they doing, which is nice. It's always nice to know that. I miss old Doctor Who, timey-wimey, the good old days of the reboot. Well, the reboot was on air, there was some excitement, maybe not always. The 50th anniversary is for me a huge landmark on the importance of Doctor Who worldwide. We had Doctor Who playing on a theater here. That is bloody amazing. That is ridiculously amazing. But yeah, at this point I have no faith in whatever they do. Sorry. At this point I don't think they can do it properly. Chibnall is there, the whole BBC directive is there. They think that the series is in the best health editorially. No, I don't see them fixing it. I can see Jodie Whittaker leaving as soon as I hear that. Hey, that 70s rock fan. Hello, man. Thanks for coming by. And I'm just ranting about Doctor Who, which will be completely and utterly destroyed. Why? You get rid of Jodie Whittaker, you take her out. Chibnall is still there, and Chibnall is still pressing for politics. You get rid of Chibnall. Well, the BBC is asking for 150 million pounds to keep operating, which means it is fucked. If they get the money, it is over. Automatically, it is over. That's the end. They will be able to keep producing Doctor Who. Chimbal is the epitome of SJW talentless hack. Yeah, he really is. He really is. Just watch Rosa. I tried to watch Rosa to make a video about Doctor Who. I was unable to finish it. I tried to watch The Timeless Child. Skim over it. It is fucking bullshit, and I mean bullshit. And well, we may have a old character and a really good character. If you saw the episode Blink coming back, that will be amazing. If she's going to be the next Doctor, then that sucks. If she's going to be a companion and it is with David Tennant, and then you have an alternate timeline, something like that, that may work. It will suck to get rid of Matt Smith's era. I fucking love Emilia Pond. I love Rory Pond. The whole history with the Doctor's wife, with River Song. It's beautiful. I love Demon's Run. As a classic Doctor Who fan, I am appalled at the destruction of the canon. William Hartnell is the first Doctor, no matter what Chimmel cropped out. Yeah. I shall come back. Yes, I shall come back. Until then, there must be no tears, no anxieties. Ah, man. I miss Hartnell a lot. A lot. He was the best Doctor, bar none. He was always great on screen, and I can take that out of my head whenever they say the first Doctor is no longer the first Doctor. No, sorry, it is the first Doctor. Whatever came out of Chimbal's, it is not Doctor Who for me. Doctor Who ended the moment Capaldi died. I never saw him regenerate. I never saw him transform into Jodie Whittaker. Whatever happened on that scene is a blur on my mind. It's no longer important. I don't even care. It ended there. If someone makes an special where Missy has the Doctor, the new generation that is a man, held as hostage in somewhere, that's perfect for me. That is bloody perfect for me. That's all I want. And yeah, Matt Smith was amazing. But if it is about getting back Hurnell, getting back Baker, getting back getting back Tennant, getting back Doctor Who in a sense, I can sacrifice Matt Smith. And I know that's sacrilege for a lot of people. I can sacrifice Matt Smith to have back Hurnell. Which will suck about that, which will really suck about that, is losing the Word Doctor. The Word Doctor, for me, was an accomplishment. You know, there's this sensation in Tennant and in Smith that the doctor is angry, is slowly boiling on the inside. But Young Hurt, the word doctor, he's all the time angry and bitter, but you see the sweetness coming from the inside, and it's a complete reversal, and it's just wonderful. That word that word doctor made Eccleston's Tennant and Smith make really really sense. I am 58 now. Patrick Tro- uh, sorry, I always butcher that name. Uh, I am 58 now. Patrick Troughton, yeah, that's the correct. Am I correct? Troughton. Uh, was my first doctor in Glorious Black and White. Oh man, I envy you. I got into Doctor Who like 11 years ago or something like that. Uh, for all the shaky effects and rubber monster, I had 1 million more times it it had 1 million more times integrity than Chimbal's corruption, and you are correct. That's the point. Do you remember the Saigons? Do you remember the original Saigons? Let's not go that far. Let's go to Hernal. Let's go to the Daleks. The Daleks were this trash can with a plunger. Oh yeah, I'm glad too, man. I'm glad we got John Hurt as Doctor Who, a special actor who brought real gravitas to the role. Completely agree. Completely agree. John Hurt was. That's the only reason I can. Man. And I don't want to lose Capaldi either. If they do anything and they are saying, okay, we'll get back an old character and we get back a Tenant, but will be the original timeline continue to Whittaker? That will suck. But that means that we have Capaldi, we have Matt Smith, and we have John Hurt, which isn't. How can you waste after having a John Hurt being the War Doctor, saying no more in that incredible voice and that acting and his reaction with Bad Wolf? That's bloody amazing, bloody mind blowing. And losing the Capaldi Doctor, the 12th Doctor, going shut it up, up, up. Yeah, I will miss that. I will miss that dearly. I will. Then again, I will have back, because this is the problem. The trouble with having Whittaker's run existing in any form whatsoever. It is that Doctor Who is no longer Doctor Who after the episode where Capaldi regenerates. That's the issue. Oh, I watched the Saigons live in the John Petrie era. The Sea Monster with magnificent Roger Delgado as the master. Roger Delgado as the master. You know what? I even love the master in the Canadian film, and I know the snake eyes and everything. It was shit. The master has always been incredible when. Okay, his TARDIS was a combi, a fucking combi. The master was no stranger to being ridiculous in a sense, but he was always fun. He was always this villain that was ready to wreck the doctor. And yeah, he was old friends of the doctor, but he was always trying to get the doctor's regenerations, and that dynamic was the perfect way of doing that. Even Missy had a bit of Delgado's doctor, Delgado's master. She had a bit of that. She had a bit of that teasing to the doctor, but it was more feminine. The doctor always has been teased by the master. And okay, I forgot the name of the special. When the doctor regenerates, the 11th doctor regenerates finally. Um, because the 10th doctor was regenerating, he threw the regenerative energy to the hand, created the Doctor Donna, and well, uh, I forgot the name of the Christmas special. It's not the end of time, is it? It is the end of time. My mind is fusion that. Sorry about it. But if you see the master there, he's always trying to get the best reaction out of the doctor. He's always teasing. He's always being not mean. That's not meanness. He is not trying to make him a bit angry or just uncomfortable. He's trying to make him murderous mad. That is the doctor. The doctor knows the master. The master knows the doctor in a so intimate level that he knows how to press the buttons. And I don't see that in the new doctor. Yeah, that. You mean the pose, the whole pose, the way he conducted himself, more serious, more epic. Yeah, he was. Delgado was perfect for the master. Yes, yes. Also, Capaldi had a run with both Mrs. Master and Tenant's Master, right? There's this scene where he's trying to convey emotion to both of them, and only Mrs. Master gets it. I will bet Delgado will get it, and he will turn it against the doctor. Just completely turn it. And that's the understanding of the master and the doctor, that dichotomy they have. Maybe the only one, the master was a brother to the doctor, a brother who wanted to beat him in everything, but deep down he actually loved him as a brother. Exactly. And the only time where I can say the new series, the Tenant seasons did something that the old series didn't, was in the episode where the doctor tells Martha about Gallifrey, about the what happened to Time Lord when you face the time vortex. And there you go, one will go mad, one will be inspired, and one will run. And they show you the master watching at the time vortex and falling into madness. And that was it. We knew the doctor and the master were together in the academy. They were supposed to become Time Lords and be part of this grandiose society. But at that moment, seeing him in the moment where he goes mad as a child and having all those reflections on the previous doctors about the childhood with the master and the way the master conducted himself. Yeah, they connected it beautifully and actually gave it a lot more weight. And yeah, I have heard the theory that is not the master, the one that is looking at the vortex, that is the doctor. No, the child that was the doctor is a bit different, and we have seen him in the episode with Clara on Capaldi's Run. But yeah, even in the yeah, it is on. It's not the end of time. Why my brain keeps bringing the end of time as that special when the doctor uh fights the master. The reason why the master hears the four knocks, it is because it's a message from the Time Lords on the Time Rift, falling after the Time War, and they sent a message of a Time Lord heart beating. That is the four knocks. Ay, ay. Is that lost? Is that no longer canon? Because I guess then the master didn't even die. That's how Missy comes to life. Because instead of falling into oblivion after using the moment, the whole concept is that the Doctor isolates Gallifrey using the multiple TARDIS, right? So, but the message is still the same. Is the four knocks, isn't it? It should be. So that should be a time paradox. If not, then everything from 20 years will be completely obliterated. Yeah, exactly. Twin Hearts, a very different beat pattern, is exactly that. It is the master and, well, the doctor and everyone. They are from a different species. They are not only just humans, so they have a binary circulatory system, and it is a huge part, actually, of the reason why the regeneration during the movie was supposed to take longer, because the anesthetics while he was on the morgue were supposed to affect the way the both hearts were beating. So it was an interruption on one, and the other one was not properly beating, and that's why he actually delayed a lot, and they were actually able to do the autopsy on the corpse. Fun fact about the movie. And yes, I know the movie is terrible, but it is way better than current Doctor Who, so who fucking cares? Who fucking cares? It is weird to say that there's something worse, way worse than the Canadian movie. And from the Canadian movie, we had actually the Day of the Time Lord, the video on YouTube where we have the regeneration from the 8th to the War Doctor. That, him there seeing the sisters and taking the coup, it's just beautiful. If you haven't seen that, it is a companion for the 50th anniversary. It is how the 8th becomes the War Doctor. It is amazing. Just watch it. Completely necessary if you love that era. This is why the whole let's make the doctor a woman thing doesn't stand up. The doctor is not human. He is not even human male. He is an alien. Yeah, he is an alien. And okay, there's the episode with Amy Pond when they go underground because you know the and I forgetting the reptilian race name. Sai. It starts with an S. Silurians. Tell me if it is Silurians. I'm almost certain it is Silurians. Well, they go to underground and they actually try to decontaminate the doctor, and he screams, "No, stop! If you kill the microorganisms on me, I will die. Because everything you are killing is what you don't know from this planet." And that's the logic. That's the logic there. So if you are killing alien bacteria, you don't know if you are killing his gastrointestinal system, his circulatory system, whatever you are killing his microbiome, and he's dying in the most horrific way. So yes, he's an alien. He's completely an alien, and treating him as a human with the concept of being male or female so stuck. For him, even paternity is not something that really matters. Remember that Susan is not his blood relative. Susan is a pickup girl. She was taken by the doctor, but she was not her blood relative. His blood relative. His only blood relative actually is the doctor's daughter from Tenants. And the Metacrisis Doctor, I guess, but the Metacrisis Doctor is half. Yeah, half. That will be a blood relative, no a genetically complete clone. I can get that. Okay, so he has two blood relatives that we know of. But Susan was not his. It's only that as a Time Lord, you live so long that you generate these emotional connections with people, and they are not necessarily about romantic love. They are more about the emotional nexus to reality, to having a group, to being part of, to belonging. Exactly, the Doctor is an alien, full stop. Any attempt to align them with human standards is false. And that's it, even the way the Time Lords conducted themselves, because they were almost gods. Exactly, Susan was an stray orphan he rescued. She was picked up by the Doctor. And that's it. They create this nexus of a family sense because they live so long and they lose so much. When you regenerate, you actually lose a bit of yourself. Yeah, you maintain part of your consciousness, but there's a reason why Omega was how he was, and Null was how he was. If you regenerate too much, you become mad. You lose consciousness about who you love and what you like and who you are. So the limit of the 12 generations was to hinder this process and prevent the Time Lords from becoming real cuckoo, real nuts. The Doctor has affection for humans and has an affinity for humans, but he is not human exactly. And Capaldi makes that perfectly clear on his very first episode when he's oh yeah, Omega. I miss that. If they were to tell me they are going back to the whole Medusa Cascade incident, and they are going deep with okay, see you soon, I guess, with the whole theme of the ancient Time Lords, and this was Omega was the history was a history lesson on how Doctor Who works, on how the species work. They have a full society, they have a full administration, which is not even democratic. If you have lived long enough, you may become the president. That's the logic behind becoming the president of Gallifrey. And everyone takes a turn. So there was this moment when the Doctor was supposed to take the place of the president, and he was still trying to get out of it because he don't want to belong to the Time Lord society as much. He sees the deficiencies on that society. They are a high class, so they see humans and other species as lesser, and they have a good reasoning for that. They are one of the oldest species on the universe, and they are maybe the most evolved species on the universe. And they found ways to cheat death. Regeneration is a process that links you with other selves on the universe. So you are taking another life in an essence. And that's something that comes from the Omega canon. You take a part of an essence, and by doing that, you lose a bit of yourself. You lose a bit of your consciousness, of your reality. You take another form, you take another life, you take another chance. That energy, this is actually from newer canon from Matt Smith era. That energy actually can be no, it will be from Tennant's era. Can be encapsulated. Okay, so that brings us nicely to what was going on with the racism and Martha and all that shit. Would you want me to come and chat, my friend? Please do. Yes. Let me get a good method of doing that. Can you hit me up on? Or there's no one else on the chat, so I guess I can drop a StreamYard's link. Let me generate a StreamYard. So we can talk. Create a broadcast only as yep. Unlisted. Create broadcast. Yeah, I'll be dropping the link in a second. Okay, I need to activate Genius camera. Okay, I cannot use the camera because another application is using the camera. Let's see it again. Okay, I guess I'm sounding. At least I have sound, so that's good enough. Enter broadcast studio and okay, let's see what we can do here. Invite, and I'm dropping the link now. Hey, hello anyone here. I'm dropping a StreamYard link, and if you want to discuss Doctor Who, please do. Please join in. And I'm setting up all the other stuff. Let's see. Okay, camera off. Add to stream. Add to stream. Hello.
Hello, my friend. It's Brian. How are you?
Hey, how are you, my friend? Good to hear you.
Good to talk to you. I noticed my avatar is not my normal one. I changed it last night. I was on another stream and I changed it to a Steely Dan album cover. I don't know if you know the band Steely Dan. They're from the 70s. They had a few hits like FM and Asia and Do It Again. But their track Dirty Work is in the Suicide Squad trailer. So
Oh, yeah, then I know them a bit. Only a bit.
yeah, so I changed my picture. I just noticed from my normal avatar. Wait a minute, I'm gonna go back. There we go. Back to normal.
Okay. You are watching the planet collapse from far,
I
far
am.
away
I'm
again.
sitting with a beer on the moon watching the Earth collapse under the weight of AC/DC playing loudly.
Dude, I will be doing the same. Trust me. I will be doing
That's
the
the
same.
way to go. That is the way to go.
Ah, yeah, man.
I thought it'd be nice to join you as it was just you and I chatting. I thought, why not just speak, you know?
Yeah, man. Thanks. You know, you are the first person on my channel.
Well, I am honored, my friend. Very honored. Thank you.
Hey, man, you are a real old school Doctor Who fan. I
I
want to
am.
hear about that.
I think the key word is old. I'm an old fan. Yes. Well, as I say, I'm 58. So my earliest memory of watching Doctor Who is the Web of Fear, which was a Patrick Troughton story about the Yeti.
Oh, yeah.
And the Yeti were in the London Underground, so they would come out of the train underground tunnels. And it was the first season that the Brigadier featured in from Unit.
Yep.
So that
That
was
was
my
actually the
earliest
creation
memory.
of Unit in a sense.
Yes,
Because,
it was,
yeah.
and that's my earliest memory. I may have watched it before that, but I was maybe only 4 or 5 years old. But there was a big cliche in those days about Doctor Who, which was that you would hide behind the couch because it was so scary. Kids would hide behind the couch and peek out to watch the show because it was scary because of the monsters. And it's true though, whenever the theme music played, it was so scary. I'd go and hide behind the couch
Dude,
and
there were
behind this.
complaints to the BBC because of that.
Yeah, and I would actually hide. It's true. I would hide behind the couch, and when the music was on, and I would just peek round the corner and watch the show from behind the couch because the scary monsters. That's right. It was as a kid, it was genuinely scary.
Today gave me uh chills. Dude,
Yeah.
that jingle is just timeless.
Oh, that music is unbeatable, and for its time, was so ahead of its time. It was the that electronic sound, and they did it by overdriving sounds and
Yep.
overcome, pushing it too hard, the machine, and made that weird electronic sound long before synthesizers. It was great.
Yeah, man. And do you know how they make the sound?
Yeah, I've read about it, but it was done by basically using primitive, sequencers and synthesizers and just getting them to like if you listen to very early progressive rock stuff, including Pink Floyd, they used the same technology to make some of their sounds. So it was pushing very primitive, what we would call synthesizers now, to Moogs and so on, sequencers, just making electronic pulses
Yeah,
and repeating them. And of course the intro visuals were done by overdriving the camera to make
dude.
those washed out wavy visuals we saw.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, it was all very, pushing the technology to its limits electronically, whereas now, of course, they can do it on
On
computer.
63, that's real impressive.
Oh yeah, they really did well with that, and whilst the sets were obviously very primitive, and the special effects and the monsters were primitive, they always used the cameras and the sound technology very well. I think they pushed that stuff really well. So they used creativity and imagination and great acting to substitute for the primitive and low budget sets that they had.
Yeah,
There's
man.
a lot of creativity. So, those old black and white Doctor Who's when I was a kid, they did frighten you.
Yeah,
The
as I was
Daleks.
saying before, the Daleks were a garbage can, a plunger, and a bunch of
That's
shit.
right, the plunger.
And you know what? The Daleks were fucking brilliant. They were
They
just
were. I mean, as a
brilliant.
5-year-old kid, that frightened the shit out of me.
Yeah, man. Me as a 20 something watching the series for the first time, and I was like, holy shit, they actually work.
I know, and it was the voices that made that. Of course, again, they used the electronic voices to make them sound menacing,
Yeah.
and that
And
that that was half the battle, you know.
and the way they worked, because Scarrow was if you have seen the old original Dalek episodes.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
first William Hartnell.
exactly. First of
Yeah,
all, it is the blame it is on the doctor, because he is the one that said that the regulator was broken. He needed Mercury to fix it. So, and it was a
yeah,
lie. He wanted to go to the
Scarrow.
fossilized city.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and
right.
yeah,
That was
uh,
an incredible series. That story,
yeah.
which was the second story, I think,
It was the third story, but
third
no,
story.
yeah,
Yeah,
there's a bunch of people that don't count the Cape of Skulls as part of the canon, because
uh,
those episodes were lost for a long, long time. But
yeah,
for me,
yeah.
there's the scene on the Cape of Skulls that actually make the whole series work, and maybe my life is philosophy is derived from there. That is a moment when the doctor is about to teach to make fire to the caveman, and the caveman goes, "Okay, I learned this." Ian tells him, well, should you not invite everybody else on the tribe? No, because then everybody will know how to make fire, and only the chief can make fire. But where we come from, the one that the fire maker is the least important person in the tribe, because
Mm,
everybody knows how to make fire. And yes, is that, and my whole mindset on technology, on open software, is about that. Everybody should know how to do things. Then
that's
is
an interesting point you make because in that story, in effect, they are interfering with the history of the human race.
Yep, they
Whereas
change
non
it.
interference was supposed to be the creed.
At that point,
In
there
effect,
was
they did
not.
interfere there. Ian did interfere.
Yeah, but the Doctor actually interfered a bit on Ian's era.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Susan was this weird child because she was talking about coordinating not only space but time and space in a quadratic equation. So that was
Mm,
something that at the time was completely ludicrous. Right now we actually do that on science to determine the position of a boson in different states. At that
yeah.
time that was crazy, that was nonsensical. And Susan just goes, okay, but you want me to give you coordinates, but you are not giving me the more important of all the pieces in this puzzle, time.
Well, it's a little bit of a quantum equation.
Yeah,
You know, you can know position, but not not movement. It's you can either know the position or you can know the quantum state, whatever that the quantum thing is. That you can know one or the other. So yeah, it was a little bit ahead of its time in that sense. But it's funny she mentioned Susan because I think Susan Carol Ann Ford is one of the few early Doctor Who actors or actresses that's still with us. Is
yeah,
still
and she
alive.
hated after leaving the show. She hated
Uh,
Doctor Who with passion.
Yeah,
She was ashamed of being typecasted because of Susan,
yeah.
but she was great as Susan. So
She was. She was the perfect Susan, but
yeah,
she's still with us, which is a bit of a. It's nice. It's nice that she's still around. She's
yeah,
80, I think, and she was also in one of my favorite movies, The Day of the Triffids.
I haven't
Do you
seen it.
remember that? The Day of the Triffids. Oh, a fantastic movie. If you get the chance to see it, it's basically post-apocalyptic novel by John Wyndham, where after an aggressive meteor shower, people start they all go blind. Everybody goes blind, but an aggressive species of plant um, grows out of the meteors that have landed and starts killing everybody.
Okay,
It's it's the Day of the Triffids. It's a very good 1960s film, 1962, I think.
yeah, I found it.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, it obviously looks like a 1962
It is
movie.
free on YouTube. If anyone
Yeah,
wants to
and
see it,
it's really good. It's quite frightening for its time. It's very frightening. And John Wyndham was a great writer, of course. And Susan Caroline Ford's a major character in that.
man, I had no idea, and I will
He
be
also
seeing
wrote
this.
the John Wyndham also wrote The Midwich Cuckoos, which became the film The Village of the Damned, which, if you've ever seen, is another really frightening movie of its
Yeah,
time.
that one I have seen. But
Yeah,
I
so
saw it when I was a teenager, actually quite drunk. So
it's quite best way to see it.
yeah,
It's quite
exactly.
frightening. It's very frightening. The
Yeah,
kids, it's brilliantly done. The Village of the Damned. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, and The Day of the Triffids. But anyway, yeah. Sorry, I've taken us on a
no, no, no,
long.
no. It's okay. There's
Carol Ann
times.
Ford. She's a national treasure, and she's still with us.
Yeah, man, what a
Yeah,
waste. Even the okay, they have the actress. They could do something with that. They could bring Susan in a way, and since the Doctor has lived thousands of years, seeing an older version of Susan will be mind blowing.
I know
First of
that would
all,
be great.
yeah,
But I think
just imagine Capaldi meeting Susan, and she had an incredible life, and then she regenerates, and she is the companion for Capaldi for a whole season.
Oh, I know. If only the people running the show now had an iota of the imagination to
Yeah.
come up with something like that.
And they don't even pay attention to the canon they even make. Because,
No.
you know, Susan afterwards went with Ramona to a different dimension. And right now, Ramona should be trapped on an alternate dimension with Susan.
Yeah. They hate the canon now. The people running the show now want to destroy the canon.
Yeah.
And they've done it. They've destroyed the canon in a sense. I mean, unless we can divert them into a parallel universe. But yeah, there's so many stories they could mine from the past of the canon that they refuse to acknowledge.
Oh,
They
for
they can't
sure.
see them.
Just
Yeah.
watch a Baker from the Baker era, and
Mm.
a lot of actors and actors from that era are still alive.
Absolutely, yeah. There's many of them, but to have an actress like Carol Ann Ford around and not use her, not bring her
Yeah,
back, and
dude,
to pay
they
tribute to the original series is crazy, you know.
during Capaldi and during Smith, they did a bunch of things with Unit, but no one on Unit was from the Baker era. From
Hmm.
dude, Unit has been there for a long time, and you should just think about it. Most of the
Hmm.
people that were low rank officers, while the doctor was running around on unit and making a mess everywhere,
Mm.
they should be uh, generals, there should be high ranking officers right now, and they
Oh,
should be
indeed.
there all the time.
And I've never really quite understood though why in the Tom to the end of the Tom Baker era they decided to sideline Unit.
I guess because the doctor was a bit anti war and they were going too militaristic and that.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was in the what was the story with the dinosaurs coming back into the present day? I can't remember the title.
Yeah.
There was no unit didn't appear in that.
Yeah.
They had a minister and they had a military, but there was no unit. I never understood that. They kind
Yeah,
of got sidelined.
I'm
I
not
can't remember
sure
the name of
why.
that one.
And then again, they bring Unit back to the mix. They make this whole series about Unit, and then
Mm,
it is gone. Then they create Torchwood. Torchwood was nonsensical for me. You had Unit, you could have used Unit a lot there.
mm,
But okay, you have Torchwood, created by the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. This Karen,
mm,
this big ass Karen.
mm, yeah,
Yeah, yet you should have Unit. And why is
yeah.
Unit not interfering with Torchwood? Because Unit was not supposed to be completely from the United Kingdom. They actually have
No,
branches on the US, on Germany, on different
well,
governments.
the very name United Nations Intelligence,
Exactly.
that it's in the title, United Nations.
Yeah.
It was meant to be worldwide with different branches, yeah, not just the British, but there's so many of the actors and actresses from that era are still with us. Liz Shaw, what was the name of the actress? Caroline John. She's still around. Liz Shaw. Mike Yates, actor. Um, Again, the names Richard Franklin. That's it. He's still around. There's a bunch of them are still here. They could really have brought back some, and I know it's nostalgia for us older guys, but that would have made a big connection between new Who and the old Who to bring these guys back more.
Yeah, and maybe that's the main reason to have continuity. It is
Yeah,
nostalgia. The more you bring up things from the past, the more the people that has been there 60 years will enjoy.
absolutely. It pays tribute to the old stuff and allows you to incorporate those guys into the new stuff. Like John Levine is still around, Sergeant Benton.
Yep.
The unit characters were strong. They were in a number of episodes. They really were a big part of the canon. But then they just kind of blew them away. Apart from on the audio books, obviously. I mean, the audio stories, they continued, but on TV they disappeared.
Yeah,
That's
and
a shame.
I mainly have seen most of the TV material, but the radio material, it is quite difficult to get.
Okay, yeah.
It's,
I mean, I've never been particularly into the Big Finish stuff, the radio audio stuff. I was a TV guy, so
yeah,
it's the
I get you
TV shows that
completely.
count. But yeah, look at Sergeant Benton, John Levine. 1975 was the last appearance of his character. It seems like a bit of a waste. I know the BBC doesn't want to pay these guys, but you know, I
But the one
mean,
thing is not paying them, other thing is erasing them from reality. And
yeah,
okay, we had the 50th anniversary. We had Unit there. Unit working functionally existing, let's say, but it was not really Unit. Do
mm,
you felt like it was the same people that they were ready to help the doctor in any way possible and also be against the doctor in any way possible?
mm, yeah,
And you see the new unit, and there's this chick with the inhaler that she loves the doctor, but you don't see anyone saying, that's the doctor. He's on our list. You know?
mm, yeah. It just seems very badly written. But I think you made a good point about Torchwood. I mean, there's Torchwood and there's Unit, but why should there be both?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, there's no canonical story reason for them to be two of them.
But they made it so, and it is a waste, man.
Absolutely. I think we're seeing the influence of writers who have never seen the old shows, don't understand the canon,
Exactly.
and they're just looking for the novelty, a new novelty.
And okay, even if you don't want to tell in the earthly matters, you don't want to mess around with who is on Earth and what they are doing. It's completely up to the writer at that point. But you
Yeah.
still have some things that are important, like the trail of the Time Lords, for example.
Mm,
That will be really important on the newer series.
yeah. I think all that stuff's been forgotten. I mean, like the trial of the time, it's just all gone in their minds. They don't even know it exists. So it's tough for them to pay tribute to it when it means nothing to them.
Also, we saw Matt Smith regenerate into Capaldi, but
Yeah.
we never saw the Ballard. And the Ballard was supposed to come after the final regeneration on that cycle of the Doctor.
Yes. Yes.
And it
Absolutely.
was the Doctor, part of the Doctor, the desperation of the Doctor trying to be still alive, that came back in time to try to steal the regenerations from himself, creating a time
Yeah.
loop, and that was supposed to even make him a kind of god, almost at the level of Omega.
Yes. Yes. And the whole Omega thing is actually an interesting reference because Omega was meant to be the explanation of what happened when Time Lords went too far with the
Exactly.
regenerations.
He
And that,
takes a bunch of regenerations, he goes completely mental.
yeah,
He has lived so much and has endured so much pain. So he's completely wacko, he's completely
yeah.
gone.
Well, he even
And
loses his physical form.
yep.
He loses it. Yeah, yeah,
And the master was about to go to the same place.
yeah,
The master lost his physical form for a long time.
yeah. And I don't mind them coming up with ways of getting around these things because that's the beauty of science fiction. But I think to ignore the implications is worse.
Yeah. By the way, I
Yeah.
wanted to say hail to Bone. I cannot bring comments on the screen because I am using OBS to share what I'm seeing
Yeah,
on the
I
StreamYards.
use that too. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but at this point I was already on the stream, and you have to set up differently to be able to do it on one thing and another. It's too much of a mess. It's really,
Yeah.
really messy.
Don't worry about it, mate. I've ruined your stream by joining.
No, man, dude, you make it better.
Well, I was hoping to get the chance to catch you live so I could join in. So I've done it. I've intruded into your stream, Pablo. Sorry.
No, it is great, man. Thanks for
Yeah, I had it.
for being here.
I went out for a couple of beers and I came back and saw who's live on YouTube, and there you were. So I picked you. I picked on you,
Hey, thank you very much.
and you were talking about Doctor Who, so I couldn't resist.
I was reading the article about they are trying after Whitaker is gone. They are trying to bring back the girl from Blink
Uh,
and
okay.
Tennant's doctor. This is a
Yeah.
new rumor. But
Yeah.
if they do, well, first of all, she was incredible. She was a darling.
Yep.
But if they do, that what does it mean? Does it mean we are going back to Tennant? Does that erase Matt Smith? Does what
Is it a
happens?
yeah? Is it a rewriting of history to pretend that Matt Smith onwards was a branch that doesn't exist anymore? A possible universe? What does it mean? Yeah.
Doctor Who has been telling us what will be happening if you try to rewrite history from the very first season. If you see
Yeah.
the Aztecs,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
actually, Barbara tries to change history.
Yes.
She
Yes.
tries to change the way the Aztecs work, and that goes full into chaos, full into madness. Because if you try to mess with time, time breaks, and
Yeah.
continuity is something that humans, and they say it there, continuity is something that humans need to be sane.
Yeah. And I think in what I would call classic Doctor Who, the pre relaunch, pre Christopher Eccleston Who, and some of the Eccleston forwards who they did deal with paradoxes quite well, but
Yep,
now I
they
think they
have the
tend to
paradox on the church. That is amazing.
yeah, now they tend to ignore paradoxes and just see they're back to a very simplistic view of the time travel as a vehicle to go back to the past and human past. And oh, let's
Exactly.
see what's going on in
Exactly.
1950. Yeah, that's not a great use of it from a science fiction perspective. They should be exploring the possibilities of paradoxes.
You get that in the very first season they went from exploring the past on the Earth with Cape of Skulls to exploring the future on an alien civilization like the Daleks.
Yes,
That is the
yes,
point. It is
absolutely.
not only being on Earth. Earth is boring most of the time. If you go
It is.
bananas, it can be quite interesting, and Matt Smith made Earth quite interesting for a long time.
Yep. But I think there's too much Earth focus
Yep.
now, and indeed, as a classic Who watcher as a kid, it was the Earth-based episodes were generally the most boring ones.
Yeah.
The
That's
ones where
even
I
that's
mean,
a good
if you
reason to get rid of Unit in a
yeah,
sense.
if you look at the third story that you mentioned, where they go to Scarrow and see the Daleks, that was three stories in. That was the third story in. That was fantastic.
Yes.
What they did with that, it was so forward-looking. It was fantastic science fiction.
It
The other ones
was.
were let's do a historical episode about Marco Polo. Well, yeah, it might have been great from a
I
character
have the audios for
perspective.
that, by the way. And I have
Yeah,
been hearing them. It's not bad. The whole thing that the TARDIS can withstand the hordes of Genghis Khan comes from that.
Mm,
If anyone have heard that, yeah, it is from that point that there's a bunch of canon on Doctor Who, and those are missing
mm,
episodes.
yes, yeah. I just find from a personal perspective that a lot of those historical episodes, like Shakespeare and Marco Polo and whatever, I found that they were a little bit dull because I'm a science fiction fan and I like the futuristic stuff. so,
Yeah, I
so I
get you.
said, so I said, give me a strange alien planet because you can travel anywhere in the universe.
So for you, is better Mission to the Unknown.
Now that's an interesting point because, and I'd love to. I don't think we could see that one. Is that one still available, or is that
I
missing?
have it. I have every single episode
Yeah,
that is on the internet in any way, shape, or form.
yeah, because that's an interesting one because it's Doctor Who without Doctor Who,
Exactly.
and I actually like that. I like the fact they were trying to do something a little different. They were trying to set up a story, and they were going somewhere different.
We are going
Uh,
full circle because that's part of what makes Blink important. It is
yes,
Doctor
yeah,
Who without the Doctor, and the Doctor is only guiding the girl by coincidence.
yes. It's a
And
universe with Doctor Who in it, but he doesn't have to be in that bit.
exactly, and you can have the TARDIS, you can have a bunch of things about the Doctor, but the Doctor doesn't need to be there. The Doctor
Yep.
sometimes get into too much of a trouble, and that happens. That just
Yeah.
happens.
Well, the Doctor does doctory things.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's nice to have things happen without the Doctor, but in the same universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I liked, much as I love this, and I understand why they set many of them on Earth, because normies relate to things set on planet Earth. I liked the stuff where they went. I like the Ark in space. I like Scarrow. I like all the ones where they go to strange worlds and do different things.
But Earth is comfortable and actually is quite cheap to produce.
Cheap to film on. Yeah, that's like the quarry. That quarry they use for all the BBC shows. It's cheap
Is
to film on.
okay, this is something that I always thought about Star Trek. On Star Trek, if you see, they use the same set for most of the Alien World episodes. They
They
may
do.
use a filter, they may set rocks different, but if you see, those are the same rocks, the same background, the
Yeah,
same all
yeah.
always.
It's
It's
it's right. It's
yeah,
the same geode is in every one
exactly.
of them. Yeah,
But it made it great.
it worked because it had a style of its own. Then that was its style,
Yeah. And
and you got
Doctor
used
Who,
to it.
for a change, they actually try to make different sets. And if you see the miniatures for Scarrow, or there's the civilization that I forget the name of the civilization, but it is the one where Barbara and Ian disappear in walls.
Mm.
Yeah, they have to get the keys in different parts of the planet to activate an artificial intelligence.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I can't remember the name, but I know the yeah, I know the episode.
yeah. If you see the
I'm getting old. I
miniatures,
can't remember all the names.
they were incredibly elaborated.
It's just the imagination of that made it. But the sets were as good as they could make for £10 a set, or whatever it was.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's a good one. I must look that one up again. Yeah, the keys, finding the keys.
Okay, I'm trying to search the name of those episodes. It
What
is
was that
season
one? Yeah,
one.
another one that's like that. I find when you mention that one, this is Celestial
The
Toy
Case
Maker.
of Marinus.
That's right.
Yep.
And the Celestial Toy Maker to me is a
Oh
similar
yeah.
feeling story where you're stuck in what is obviously a set, filming wise, but
But the bands are
it
more
creates a world.
grandeur.
It creates a self-contained world where they have to figure out where they're at and how they're getting out of it. Yeah.
Yeah. It is exactly that. The Doctor works best when he is wrong or he is in an unknown situation. And maybe
Mm.
Smith had the best line about it. Uh, I think it is Clara, the one that asked him if you are right all the time, why do you even care to go throughout time and space? If you know everything, why to
Mm.
bother? And he goes, to be proven wrong.
That's a great line. Yes. See, that's writing. That's good
Exactly.
writing, which is something sadly lacking from current Who. But
But that line is exactly why the Doctor, when he is uncomfortable, works best. Like he goes to the edge of time. When he gets actually he revives the Master, it is because he goes to a portion of the universe that is at the end of time. It is the
yeah,
moment where time is collapsing,
yeah,
and he is
yeah.
in the unknown, and he is actually worried. You can see that he is losing the battle,
Mm,
and that makes you even more tense because normally the Doctor, yeah, he is in difficulties, he is in distress,
mm, yeah.
but he always knows what to do. When he doesn't know, then is when you really worry.
That's right. Yeah. If he's worried, you should be worried.
Exactly.
But that's to me is again the having episodes stuck around, especially what they do now with the Jodie Whittaker stuff, stuck around current Earth events is where that they've got a machine, the TARDIS, that can travel to the end of time. Why would you stick around in the planet Earth in 1950, whatever? You wouldn't. What's the point?
You have a machine that is literally called time and relative dimensions
That's
in
right.
space.
You can cross dimensions, never mind time. Yeah,
It can
yeah.
cross dimensions, but the entropy process is the one that actually hinders that storytelling because
Mm,
the TARDIS
yeah,
loses a lot of power, and it is quite difficult to get the Doctor out of those situations.
sure. But then that's part of the drama of doing it.
Yep, but it is
Whereas
difficult to write
traveling
that
to
kind of.
1950s Alabama is, well, so what? So
Yeah.
what? Who cares? Ultimately, it's
And by the
that's
way, that's something that the Doctor, as the Doctor, should not even be worried about.
no,
It is about racial discrimination. Okay, it is about racial discrimination. The Doctor doesn't care about racial discrimination. He
well,
is more concerned about species discrimination because he knows at one point
yes,
humanity will stop fighting about race.
yes.
At one point, humanity will be together. Then
The
they
doc,
will face aliens. And as Tennant says, no, it is not even Tennant, it's Eccleston on the episode where Earth is about to end,
yep,
and he says something like, yeah, that's what humans do. They go to explore new worlds and find someone to shag.
yeah. But the Doctor is a time traveling alien. Why would he care about current era Earth politics when he can travel at any point in Earth's history? There is no
Yeah,
current era for him.
and he knows what is going to
Yeah,
happen. He
that's
saw
right. There's
on the
no,
time vortex, you are supposed to see the whole fabric of reality. You see the future, you see the past, you see the present, you see every possible outcome of every single action.
yeah, yeah,
So,
exactly. So there is no such thing to him as current era Earth politics
yep.
because there is no current era. Any era could be the current era. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense that they pigeonhole. the
we go
current
back to
stories.
the
Yeah.
equation and Susan. They don't know how to properly convey the equation. They are missing the most important factor on that: time.
Mm. Yep. Yes. It's ignoring the fact that the Doctor has as his pat on his palate the entirety of time.
No, he has
Yeah.
actually had the entirety of time in him because of Rose.
Yes.
He
Yes.
absorbed the time matrix because Rose became the Bad Wolf.
Yes, you're right. Yeah. Yeah. So why they would focus on it's just I understand that they're somewhat following the tradition of having historical Doctor Who episodes about Earth history, but I think it's a trope that should be disposed of.
Yeah,
And it's lazy because they're doing it because of politics, not because of anything else.
maybe the 50th anniversary did that the best. It is the Doctor in a timely setting. He is in Victorian
Mm.
era, and what does he do? He shagged the Queen.
Yeah, yeah. And who wouldn't? No.
Yeah, but it is the way the Doctor does things. He is
Yeah,
not
yeah.
preoccupied about the real situation,
No, and you
because for
shouldn't be.
him the situation it is happening and has already happened, and is nonsensical to be worried about that.
Yeah, he shouldn't be because he's the Doctor.
Exactly.
It's that's yeah. It's that just it's an example though of how the current writers of the last 2 years, chin balls, they have no idea of what they're dealing with. They have no real idea. They're treating it as a British soap opera of some kind. It's ridiculous, but don't get me
Okay,
started.
Doctor Who can be a bit soap opery. If you see the
Of course,
whole issue with Ross and the Doctor, but
yeah,
every single moment of that relationship, of that soap opera, was completely paid off the moment when the Doctor left Rose on that
yes,
alternate dimension.
but
Even
it worked.
the way he responds to Rose, it was a callback to earlier episodes.
Mm. But it worked because you cared for the characters
Yep,
and the actors were good.
precisely.
It's a big difference between actors you don't care about, like Jodie Whittaker, and crappy writing. Yeah, you cared about those two characters, and they had a connection, and it was real because the writing was good. Now it's just this formulaic shit, and I really hate Jodie Whittaker. I mean, there are I have no argument in principle with the Doctor appearing as a female. I know some people like Gary Neurotic have a thing against that. I have no argument in principle against it, but you've got to pick a good actress, and
I have
she is
said
not. Yeah,
all this time that is a wasted golden opportunity. Just
absolutely.
okay, he regenerates into a woman. What's the first thing he will do? See his hoo-ha, his newly obtained hoo-ha, because he has, while he regenerates, we have seen him look at his junk
Yeah,
to see that
I know.
it is still there.
I know what I would do. I'd look down and go, "Oh, look at these two things here. Why?
Yeah,
These are
yeah, yeah,
great."
yeah, yeah. And then he will go and speak to the TARDIS, something like, "Don't worry, baby, I still feel the same for you," or something like that, because
That's
that's the relationship with the TARDIS.
I know the writing was put. They could have really written that in a very funny but touching way.
Yeah, Capaldi
Uh,
was a great example of a regeneration done well. He
yeah,
regenerates and he goes, "My kidneys. What about your kidneys? I don't like the color."
that's right. And they could have done that with that regeneration. I mean, they could have had a lot of
Yeah.
fun with it, but they
Matt Smith
decided to
with
be so
touching his hair.
serious with
"I'm a
it.
girl. No, wait, I'm not a girl, but I'm still not ginger."
Yeah,
He
what
was
am I saying? Yeah,
expecting to
that's
become
right.
a girl. He actually expected, and that was a possibility in his regeneration
Yeah.
cycle,
Well,
to
they could have
become
looked down
a
and
girl.
said, "What the hell am I supposed to do with these things?" You know.
Yeah, but he touches his hair and he actually gets preoccupied about him being a girl, and that is the kind of thing. Again, Matt Smith did that. How comes that Jodie Whittaker didn't do anything alike?
But she's a one-dimensional actress. The
Exactly.
actress I would have loved to have seen in that role is Ruth Wilson. I don't know if you know who Ruth
No, I
Wilson is.
don't.
She was in a British TV show called Luther with Idris Elba. Show called Luther, detective show, and she is brilliant. And she created this really good evil but not evil villain in that show. She would have been the perfect doctor. She's not beautiful, although she's attractive. She's got a lot of depth, and she would have been able to play the humor, the pathos. She was a she's a way better actress.
The
If they
Doctor
picked
has
some
always been good looking, but he hasn't been handsome once.
exactly, yeah. And Ruth Wilson, if you look up the show Luther with Idris Elba, she played this brilliant villain in that show. She would have been perfect, in my opinion. But they picked someone who's basically a soap level actress.
Yeah.
And with one, she's only got one look, which is that weird kind of look that she does. She's got no depth. Yeah, exactly. She's got no depth. She, every emotion looks the same. It's that kind of daft look in her face. She
Please
looks
don't
like
ask
she's
for depth on current writers because all the depth they know is feasting. As
yes,
deep as the feast goes, that's where we are going.
yeah,
And it
yeah,
doesn't work.
exactly.
Sorry, it doesn't
No,
work.
yeah, and I'm a big fan of Ruth Wilson. She would have been the perfect female doctor, but that's just me. That's just my
I have
uh,
I have been trying to actually get a good way to make the Doctor female, and it always comes back to the same issues. First of all, you need someone to actually relate to that change. If you set
yes.
new companions, that change is completely unimportant. Because you know
Mm,
what? The Doctor changes bodies all the time, so he will get a bit preoccupied at the beginning, but then it will be business as usual.
mm,
Is his body? He is doing doctoring things. That's that's business as usual. But you
mm,
have Clara facing the regeneration of the 11 to the 12.
yeah.
That was good. That was really good. Rose
Mm-hmm.
had to face the ninth, uh, go to the 10th, and she was preoccupied about the same things.
Yeah, and
Then
a lot of it, a lot of past Doctor Who, as you say, is about in the regeneration scenes is
it's the
about the
companions.
reaction of the
Yeah.
companions.
So you
And
have the most radical change on the Doctor physique, the Doctor appearance of all time. You know, he has gone a bit bald, he has gone a lot young, a lot older, but he
mhm,
has never transitioned to a woman before.
yep, and
So
that would
you have
the
that.
human companions would have been the ones to react
Exactly.
to that. Yeah.
You needed a human companion fully integrated, fully in love with the concept of the Doctor. Wait, what?
Well, that's right. If you look back at maybe Sarah Jane, imagine how she would have reacted to
Oh,
John Pertwee turning into a woman
you could have
instead of
had Sarah Jane's son on the TARDIS at that time.
yeah, yeah.
So he goes and presents to him, and I know the actress of Sarah Jane. I think she died. I'm not sure.
She did, yes.
Yeah,
Not so long ago,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Elizabeth Sladen, yeah.
yeah, at that
Yeah.
time she was still alive. So
Yep.
the son of her could go and say, "Hey, look who I found. Who is this girl? You know her? No, I
Yep.
don't. No, you know her."
Mm.
And then you hear the doctor say, "Sarah Jane, it's me."
Mm.
That is the kind of that will be a bombshell. That will
Well,
be a
it sends
bombshell
a it
because
sends
Sarah
a
Jane is
chill up
in
your
love.
spine.
She's in
Sends
love
a
with the
chill up your
doctor.
spine. Exactly. Yeah, it sends a chill up your spine.
Exactly. It is.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. She didn't you can have a whole episode with Sarah Jane not even recognizing the Doctor, and at the end, you hear the sound of the TARDIS. You see the
Mm,
TARDIS appearing, the door opening, and when she believes she is about to see the Doctor coming out of the TARDIS, the Doctor enters the TARDIS and goes, "Do you want another adventure?"
mm,
And you get,
you see,
okay, I'm sold. I'm completely sold. You know why? Because you are seeing something fantastical for the first time from the point of view of someone that has seen something really fantastical, but nothing like this.
yeah, I know it, but I guess that's why we're not writing the show
Exactly.
because that's what we would do. We would do that.
Even, okay, you have that. You want to go with a full female TARDIS and you go scissoring all the time. Okay, get Romana.
Oh yes,
Get Sarah Jane
strong.
in the same TARDIS.
Strong female characters as well. They talk about, oh, we've never had strong female. That's nonsense.
And you can
They were
have the female
strong.
doctor learning how to be a strong female from a strong female
Yeah,
companions. Because you
yeah.
know what? The doctor was a male, he transforms into a woman, but inside he's still a man. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the point I wanted to make earlier, and yeah, you've reminded me, and you're right. It should be still the Doctor with a male psyche, but in a female body. That would work.
And by staying with Romana, by staying even with Susan, by staying with Sarah Jane, by staying with Martha Jones, she can
Yes.
learn how to be a lady, how to be a woman, how to be a warrior as a woman.
Yeah.
And then you
Yeah.
have the change. The next doctor is back again a man, and he goes like, "Ooh, maybe I should,
I was just getting used to that.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe I should treat with a bit more respect my next female companion."
Yeah.
You
I mean,
know?
there's all sorts of things they could have done with that. Yeah. Yeah. But
Yeah,
they decided to make it very political and very in your face, obvious, and just dull. It's dull.
yeah.
Very dull. Yeah. No humor in it really. In fact, it's very humorless now.
And humor is important on the doctor.
Oh,
Maybe
always.
okay, between Pettigrew and Smith, they are both maybe the most comical level doctors. They
Yeah.
show the comedy on the face. It's not like a situational comedy where the doctor is calm, is collected, or maybe a bit angry. The
Hmm.
comedy is going on around him. No, it is
Yeah.
the doctor is actually the comedian in the scene. He is the one making the jokes.
Yeah,
So
there's been a few doctors like that. I mean,
yeah,
Patrick Troughton was a bit of a like a Charlie Chaplin,
yeah,
and then
he was a
Pertwee was
handler.
suave, but he had a wicked sense of humor.
Exactly. He had a wicked sense of humor, but he needed something to kickstart it. So the
Yeah,
companions were the main piece of those jokes, were the main way to convey those jokes. The doctor alone was not someone to crack a joke.
mm,
Yeah, but the comedy
well,
of messing with the companions was the good part.
I think occasionally Pertwee and Baker cracked jokes at the Brigadier's expense, but
Exactly. They were mean spirited at times, even.
I know they were funny towards the Brigadier. It was quite funny, but
Yeah,
I love those. I loved that era. I mean, I just loved those characters. I
but
loved Pertwee. I loved Baker.
yeah,
Pertwee, to be honest, Pertwee is my favorite, but that's just me. But he
you
had
know this
everything. He could
scene
do kung fu
with
or Venusian aikido, but
oh yeah, with Smith that he's explaining something to Emilia Pond, and she goes, "Wait, what? I don't know. I lost track. It is difficult to keep up with my brain. Please do." And you're like,
and
okay,
that's like
yeah,
yeah,
the doctor knows that most of the time he doesn't even make sense.
yeah, and he's absurd. He's meant to be an absurd character with an alien sense of humor and not altogether serious.
And he
He's a
has
very
actually make
light-hearted guy.
racist jokes against humanity, against the whole
Yes,
humanity.
yes,
He has
yeah.
made jokes about, oh, look at me, I'm human. Look at my single heart. And Emilia goes like, hey, it will be fun if you weren't human.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
That's the
So
point. He's an outsider, a complete outsider, and he only reflects a bit of humanity. Emilia tells him, "Well, you look human. No, you look Time Lord."
yeah, and I love it when there's been times in the past in the script where he's basically said things like, "Oh, you humans, you're so cute," or whatever.
Exactly.
It's I like that stuff.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
"Oh,
yeah.
you're so cute, but I like you."
That reminds you that he is an alien because he looks human.
Oh,
Is
he's
on
an
the
alien.
interaction on the he always seems a bit aloof, a bit outside
Mm.
of the conversation. It's because he has had this conversation before, every single conversation, all the time.
Yes, yes. And yeah, the fact that now they really make her a human woman in a
Yep.
sense is just ridiculous. She's not. It's an alien.
Maybe it's a
But
woman,
anyway,
but it's still an alien woman. And you
yeah.
know how much is different. We have seen on the Time Lords, Romana was a tomboy.
Oh
She
yeah.
she was a tomboy. She
Oh
was
yeah. Yeah.
completely almost male on the way she act, but she was
Well,
sexy at
she's the
times.
prototype fierce, brave,
Exactly.
stunning woman. Yeah. Without having to try, without having to make it that. That's what she was.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what 30, 40 years ago. I don't know, 30 years ago.
And they were not concerned with making her save the doctor. The doctor needed help. There was another
Mm.
Time Lord, and this Time Lord is completely different from human
Mm-hmm.
females. You
Yep.
saw human females interact with Romana, and
Yep.
she was actually even more harsh than the doctor. She was
Oh
more
yeah.
distant than the doctor.
She had less patience, that's for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that kind of interaction show us there's Time Lords with different sensibilities, even being female. She had a
Mm.
male sensibility,
Yep. Absolutely.
and they wasted that.
I was still attracted to her though.
Oh, you know what? A tomboy, if it's done well, is perfectly.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely. So, my friend, I'm actually going to down to my last few minutes, and I'll have to drop off for domestic
Yeah, man.
reasons. But
Thank you very
I wanted
much
to
for
change the
being.
subject a little.
Yeah.
My wife and I recently watched on Netflix a Brazilian show. I think you're from Brazil, are you not, my
No, I'm
friend?
from Ecuador.
Oh, you're from
Yeah.
Ecuador. I'm sorry, my friend.
If
No,
you
we're
want
looking for
something related to Ecuador, watch Cobra
well,
Kai.
we're looking for television shows. We because of the last year or so, and we've run out of things to watch. We've started watching an awful lot of foreign shows, foreign to us from Canada. So we watched Invisible City, which was a Brazilian thing, and we're watching some Mexican stuff.
Nice.
So what have you got in Ecuador that we might want to watch that would be subtitled so we could?
In
Is there a show
Ecuador,
we should watch or a film?
there's a film that I will recommend
Yep.
that shows a lot of Ecuadorian
Yep.
mystique in a way. It's called ¿Qué tan lejos?
Right. I'm going to write this down. Sorry.
Sure.
So say that again.
¿Qué tan
Is that so is it a
lejos?
C or a K? Sorry. Kit
Q-U-E.
or Q?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, got
Tan
it.
like tan, T-A-N.
Got it. Yeah. Kutan.
And lejos from far. L
Oh,
A L E
EHOS. LEHOS.
no J O S.
Oh, JOS.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's
Oh,
how much far or how far.
Ketan Lejos. Ketan Lejos.
Yeah, and well,
Okay.
it's about a girl that is from Ecuador and a girl that is from Spain.
Yeah.
She is going around in Ecuador and she finds this Ecuadorian girl and shenanigans ensue. It is really, really fun. And if
Great.
you want something that it is not Ecuadorian, but to look at something how you can actually make a separation from men and women work, there's two anime series that I always recommend. One is
Okay.
called Bandred.
Bandered. Bandered.
Bandred, and the other one
Bandered.
is Saber Marionette J.
Saber Marionette J.
Those are old animes, but they have this conflict between men and women, and on one
Yeah.
of them, actually, women are completely extinct.
Ah, luxury. No, sorry. My wife isn't in the room, so I can say
By
that.
the way, Bond was born in Ecuador too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bond, where... ¿Dónde naciste, hermano? ¿De dónde vienes?
Ah, cool.
Yeah, man. Dude,
That's
thanks for
cool.
being here, really. You are
Oh,
the
that was
first
fun, my
guest on my
friend.
channel. Thank you very much.
Oh, it's fun, my friend. We should do it again sometime. Obviously, we'll be talking on other things, but I should, yeah, pop into your channel, and eventually I'm going to start doing this kind of thing on my channel. But right now I'm just doing little videos to. But eventually I'll get into the live streaming, but it's too early. It's too early for me.
Yeah. But you have a nice voice, man.
Well,
You can
so
do
have
it.
you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. One does one's best, you know. I can do a good Sean Connery impression if you want.
Please do.
You know, absolutely. You're a shite. A shite for sure eyes. So I actually come from very near from where Sean Connery was born
Yeah,
and brought up. So
I'm hearing some Scottish or something like
I'm,
that.
I am Scottish, yes. But I
Oh,
live
yeah.
in Canada. I live in British Columbia now, so.
Yeah, almost. It's still British, at least.
Well, yeah, it's not too British, I hope, but but yeah, it's been a pleasure, my friend, and thank you for having me. As I say, I got to drop out for domestic reasons.
Sure, man. You are welcome
My
anytime.
wife is hovering in the background, going, "What the hell are you doing?" So, um, but it's all and Brian. By the way, Pablo, my friend, my name is Brian. So maybe you'll remember. But yeah, if in future if I'm on, you may not remember, but it's Brian. You feel free to call me Brian, not that 70s rock fan. So,
Brian, thanks
yes,
for being
thanks,
here,
Pablo.
and see you next time.
Yeah,
I
you
I
too.
hope there's a next time.
Oh, there will be, my friend. Absolutely, there will be many next times. It's a
Amazing.
pleasure, Pablo. Cheers, mate. Have a good day.
See you soon, man. And let me go back to using OBS properly. Hey, I'm on full screen now. By the way, Moira is in the chat. Welcome. Hey, that was an amazing talk. I really enjoy talking about Doctor Who, and this is the thing. Doctor Who is something that in my country is rare. It's really, really rare. Oh, you were born in Guayaquil. Guayaquil. Guayaquileño. You know what? You have really, really hot blood. And I mean it. People in Guayaquil are a spark. Are just... Hey, Liam Nelson Chin. People in Guayaquil are so incredibly... what's the word They are amazing. They just crack jokes all the time. They go for the jugular all the time. And that sense of humor, that almost a sarcastic sense of humor, is something that I have always loved about Guayaquileños. And there's a series that makes it quite amazing. They go to a level of nonsensicalness that is just all kinds of amazing. It's called Soltero Sin Compromiso. It is a bit on YouTube. It is a bit of a ripoff of other series, but with a full Guayaquileño flavor. It is bloody, bloody hilarious. They have, okay, the main character is this guy called Fernando Rendon, that is a junkie, is a real junkie. And okay, the basics is this is a guy that is actually all the time trying to hit in any woman he meets. And he's always or drunk or high. So the shenanigans are based on that, and the whole comedy is based on that. But it goes on San Borondon, a place on Guayaquil that is for rich people. So the jokes are from the bottom of the sea to the highest position on society, and you can see them laughing about the tennis club, laughing about the president and the politicians, but then they will go to the Wasmos and joke about stupid shit on everyday life. They have this character that is called Katiuska Genoveva Kimipuchi, and the name is a joke about the ridiculousness of names on the Wasmos and such. And actually, she's from Vinces, a place that I do like to go a lot. And I was lost in. Dude, Ecuadorian films and Ecuadorian series are not so great for the most part. Solteros sin Compromiso is an outlier. Before we had Vivos, that was a good comedy about politicians. But we go more for the satirical takes. We like to get into costumes, be the president, be a minister, and make jokes. And the jokes are actually quite sexual, quite intense. It is a different kind of TV. That's why I have difficulties recommending it to everyone. We don't care that much for sensibilities, let's just say that. If the character is gay, it is really, really gay. And I mean, like, es una loca de esas locas tan impresionantes, bebé. You know, completely gone to the extreme. And that's the fun part. The extremes are the fun part of my country's comedy. We show the extreme, we show someone normal facing the extreme, and that ensues into laughter. It is a different way of seeing things. In American comedies, you usually make it situational, and if the character is a complete jackass, you don't actually show it on the screen. If the character is a complete jackass on Ecuador, you show it full. You show on Vivos they used to make. Okay, this is going to be a bit racy. This is comedy from my country. Yo soy el genio Matamba que te cumple un deseo por una gamba. And is this black genie inside of a coconut? No, this is not a joke. This is something that really exists on my country. It is a sketch about a genie that lives in a coconut and is a black guy with a full afro. It is crazy. You know how many times black people have come to me and said, "This is the most hilarious son of a bitch on the fucking face of the earth." Because it is hilarious. It is hilarious. And we don't care. We don't actually care about racial sensitivities because we are so mixed that if you joke about Manaba, you are joking about half of the population. If you joke about indigenous people, you are joking about the majority of the population. So you are not laughing about minorities. You are laughing about yourself. That is the wonderful part. We have taken that so much into us that we don't really care about racial sensitivities. But it is difficult to say like La Suquillo. La Suquillo is a comedy, a series, a comedic series about a market, a common run-of-the-mill mercado in Ecuador. So they speak like people on the market. The decorations are crappy, and if you have seen photos of a Mexican market or a Latin American market in general, you will have the idea of these places, and the decorations is full of La Virgen del Quinche, La Virgen del Carmen, different Virgin Marias from different versions of Catholicism. And you will have the ladies with the delantal, the apron, going like they are sweet. When you go to the market to buy something, especially if you are buying food, they go something like that. Venga, venga, patroncito, venga, mi amor, venga, querido, ¿qué le damos? ¿Qué le doy? A ver, venga, pruebe. Buen mozo, ¿cómo le va? Sí, aquí tenemos. That, that, that is something that I guess in the United States, if you will make a series about people that have this specific way to talk, you will get into trouble. Instead, you got the Suquillo. Oh, Condorito, sí. Condorito is something that is under attack. If you don't know, Condorito is this comic about a condor that lives a human life. And he has different kinds of pals, like huevo duro. Huevo duro means boiled egg, and is a character that is bald. The whole joke is that his head is like a boiled egg, completely bald. Condorito has this girlfriend that is called Yayita. Yayita is the prototypical coast girl. So she has a huge ass, huge legs, maybe a tiny wrist, but amazing mogumbos, you know. And everybody is trying to nail her. Condorito has to defend his honor by being more salsa, more intense than the other boys. That's the whole joke of Condorito. And well, Yayita has her mother that hates Condorito. A lot of the jokes is about La Suegra being evil. You know, the mother-in-law. There's this joke that here in Ecuador that you should actually try to marry a orphan girl, because you don't have you will not have a suegra, you won't have a mother-in-law. I know it's cruel, but it is jokes in Ecuador. It is how we see the world. La suegra, the mother-in-law, is a terrible, terrible character here. She hates you. She really hates you. So in Condorito, yeah, that was part of the dynamic. Right now is under attack because a lot of shit there is antithetical to whatever the feminist agenda is. And thanks to the left, the feminists are currently trying to gain momentum on our culture, which I hope it doesn't happen, because I love how in Latin America, in Ecuador, I will speak about Ecuador, men are real men, women are real women. Whatever is in between, if you are gay, you are real gay. You are not a halfway gay. You are a real gay. if you are a lesbian, you are a real lesbian. People here like to be completely out of the wall, whatever they are. They go to the extreme. They really do. So having that and having the feminists going, no, that is against women, that is against gay people, that is against. Dude. Have you ever seen how Ecuadorian girls are? Yeah, they are completely out of the whack, but they are ladies. And same for men. Each man is a hidalgo caballero or is a cretin. If the SJWs triumph in this, part of the personality of the characters in my country will disappear. It is the same agenda, but okay, this is what happened. Rafael Correa got into power. He changed a lot of laws, actually propagated the feminist agenda, but the normal Ecuadorian fights back. So for a long time, you had a bunch of satire about the feminist agenda. We didn't care about it, we didn't want it here, and there was this pushback. Then, when Lenin Moreno gets into power, things change. How does things change? Before, if okay, our kids get the books from the Secretary of Education, from the Ministry of Education, for free normally. They get the books, and in the books normally there's science or mathematics or whatever. In the books from the government of Lenin Moreno, it's all about social politics. It's all about what's your gender, and this is a math. What's your gender in language? If you, instead of using less on laws, you or laws, you use less. That kind of stupid shit. Why? But then you have the normal people that are still trying to be men, women, gay, or whatever. And we actually don't really care that much. If you have been in La Costa Ecuatoriana, if you have been in the coast, you have seen trans people being real trans people. And I mean it, being extreme trans people. They dress as much as they can to show up that transition, to show it in your face. And I love that. I love that. It's not only they become drag queens, they become ladylike, they emphasize the musculature and the facial features. They don't try to tone it down. They leave it there and they make it bigger. That's what I'm talking about we going to extremes. We go to extremes. So this trying to convert everything in a gray matter is not working in Ecuador. Why? Because I have seen trans people go against wokeness because they want to be trans. They don't want to be men or women. They want to be what they are. And they want to be left alone. If they want to go with a tight dress to walk in these gigantic hills, I don't know how they walk in those, but they do. You can, and you should. And if anyone wants to say to you, you are going against yourself, you can slap them in the face. If the laws change, you won't be able to do that. And you know what? That will hinder the probability of a gay person coming out of the closet. And I mean it. I really mean it. And that gets me preoccupied a lot, is the control we have over ourselves and the way we show ourselves without any kind of shame, without any kind of hesitation. That for me is the Ecuadorian spirit, and it's been lost to politics with this a lot of bullshit. It is a lot of bullshit. By the way, a lot of the people that are currently propagating this were doing blackface 10 years ago, and they were doing blackface doing the counterpart to a black man in the sketch. That was the joke. You have a black man acting as a black man, and you have a white man in blackface. The joke was the interaction, was wonderful, was incredible. You cannot have that right now. So the comedy in my country is dying. La Suquillo, a full series about the ladies in the market serving people, giving food to people, and making jokes about social, cultural things. Cannot be done right now. It's considered racist. And you know what? Two of the actresses on that show previously actually sold in the market food. That is my gripe with wokeness in my country. If it is doing a lot of shit everywhere, in my country is actually hindering our culture. And our culture is rich in being extreme, in being itself, in letting everything we are go wild. If you saw a Saraguro is a nationality in my country, indigenous nationality. See them with feathers and the corals and every bit of ornament, walking on the street, all regal. It is intense, it's wonderful, it's just wonderful. But if you do that now and you don't look completely Saraguro, let's say you are half mix, half Saraguro. Feminist on the street will corner you to insult you for stealing what is yours. If I look a bit white, a bit whiter than I should. It is because the sun. If I go to the sun half an hour, I will look a lot darker. But if I were to go with my poncho and my otavaleño pants and my sombrero to the street, some feminist will yell at me for cultural appropriation. My granddad is from Otavalo. I have Otavalo blood. This was not always the case. I used to drink with these feminists. I used to party with these feminists. They were the crazy, crazy feminists that nobody even took into consideration. But they were kinda weird girls and everything, and okay. No, they are an insult to whatever they were before. Totally sad. I miss my punk concerts, I miss my rock concerts, I miss going to La Casa de la Cultura with my greñas, my long hair, and a bunch of leather in my body, with my long coat. that is something that you will not be able to do now because they will tell you that you are a Nazi. Because obviously, if you like metal, if you like heavy metal, you should be a Nazi, right? I don't know how they work out this in their minds. And if the government keeps messing around with this, our culture will be completely destroyed. The way we do things, with the way we do jokes, the way we love will be changed. That is something that I don't want. I want my son, if he experiences Ecuador, I want him to experience Ecuador. I want him to eat mote con tostado in the market. I want him to eat encebollado in the middle of the street. I want him to be able to say a proper piropo. A piropo is a compliment that you do to a girl, but it is not only a compliment. It needs to be a bit musical and a bit poetic. So is not a cat call. It's a bit more refined. And a bigger version of that is the amorfinos. The amorfinos is something that people in Manabi use to sing to a woman to woo her. Those are disappearing because you cannot catcall a girl. It is aggression. Oh, give me a break. There were international competitions of amorfinos for a time. So yeah, poetry on my country is dying. Comedy is dying. A lot is dying. I. But then again, I think back to a bunch of people that I have met recently, and they are crazy about doing more extreme stuff. And I will say, I know for a fact there's a drag queen that wants to do something really interesting against feminazis, against feminists, which will be really, really fun. Yeah. But okay, last topic today. Last topic today. It will be about Leonard McCoy. Yeah, that's thing. Sorry, Bone. I know Ecuador will be back in full. Well, in the meantime, you can enjoy Solteros sin Compromiso. It is a great series and it has a lot of jokes that can only be made in Ecuador. Trust me, those are fully Ecuadorian jokes and there's a reasoning for that. Maybe one day I will try to. No, I will have to sub the whole series to do that. But I can do a review for some channel or something. Okay, Leonard Nimoy. He is well, he is not. He already passed away. But it's his 19th birthday. 90th birthday. Just a week or so after Kirk's, after William Shatner. It grinds my gears that the last time I saw him on Star Trek was on the bad reboot movies. Hey, thanks for the hook, Moira. Hook back. It is sad. It's really sad. If you don't know, I love Star Trek. I love the original series. And having this sensation that it is lost is a bit hard. But then again, Star Trek has always been something of a niche on my country. I was the only one that I knew of that was properly properly into the series to a point to know which is the Enterprise A, which is the Enterprise without any letter, which is the Enterprise D, which is a Romulan cargo ship, which is a bird of prey. That is the kind of thing that only a few Ecuadorians that I know knew. So I'm used for Star Trek to be niche. That doesn't mean that I'm not hurt about the Star Trek going to the drains. Why? I had this expectative on one point of my future to go to the United States and buy a bunch of figures, a bunch of ships, and the Blu-rays. And I have been following along the track of the Blu-ray sales and everything. The prices of the things that are worth are skyrocketing. At this point, I guess all the fans, all the real fans of Star Trek, have acknowledged the death of Star Trek. In this situation, try to celebrate Nimoy is a bit hard. I want to, for example, celebrate the Vulcan salute. Then, a bunch of Karens have been using this for everything. So doing the Vulcan salute right now actually gets you a target of being a fake geek. And I mean it. Which is an insult. It is a complete insult to the gesture. It was a gesture that I used to do with my friends to say, hey, I'm a nerd. And they were, hey, I'm a nerd too. I like Star Trek. Hey, I like Star Trek too. Let's talk. Now that's lost. Now, if you see on the internet, every time you see a Karen, she goes and everything sucks. So at this point, I guess the only way to properly enjoy Star Trek and properly celebrate Star Trek will be by staying outside of the fandom or the new fandom and try to get with people that actually love the series, like we did right now with Doctor Who, something like that. We need to do that a lot, a lot. Sadly, that means my plans for getting an Enterprise A, and yes, what I want is the A. Is the one that I love. It was on the movies, and has always make me drool, just drool. Yeah, I want that. I won't be getting one. My Kirk action figures, yeah, I'm not getting them. Spock action figures, no. But let's celebrate a bit of Leonard McCoy. Leonard Nimoy. What? McCoy? McCoy? What have to do bones with all of this? Leonard Nimoy. With a bit of a retrospective on Star Trek. How did I go to Star Trek? And how did Star Trek progressed here, around here? Okay, I got into Star Trek because of the reruns. Star Trek is maybe with Bonanza and okay, let's see. At 4 in the morning, you used to see Bonanza followed with Star Trek, followed with Knight Rider. It is a quite interesting combination, I know. It was like that. I remember being 8 years old or something and staying awake to see Star Trek, and obviously I saw Bonanza. Then my grandfather used to have this small TV on the dining room, and we used to see Walker Ranger of Texas and Knight Rider and MacGyver and all those wonderful series, and Star Trek all the time. My mom used to love Star Trek, and she actually used to quote Mr. Spock a lot. A lot. Then it came the Next Generation, and in Channel 5, Televisión Satelital, they used to put the movies, the old movies. Oh, you gotta see the original series, man. You will have so much fun. Bond says that I never got into Star Trek, but I respect the series and what it established. Dude, watching right now, Star Trek is something. Watching it for the very first time will be a dream of mine. I can imagine the amount of excitement and enjoyment you can get from the series right now if you haven't ever seen it before. Okay, the Next Generation is on there and everything, and they start to show the movies. And there's this movie that they used to show a lot, Star Trek 4. Meow. Star Trek 4, only because of the whales. Here in Ecuador, they love whales. We have whales on Galapagos, we have whales on Salinas. So, whales. Let's show the whales on TV. Okay, that's fine. That's completely fine. But I didn't like that movie. I didn't. Then they show Star Trek, the motion picture, the very first movie. And I fell in love. I just fell in love. They show the second movie, The Wrath of Khan. Again, I fell in love. They show The Search for Spock. It's a wonderful movie. They show Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home. I'm uninterested. It's something that I have seen plenty of times. 5 and 6 never got into my country. Don't ask me why. They just didn't. Those I got on DVD originally. Then comes the 2009 reboot, and they start showing the 5th and 6th movie. When I see the 5th movie with Cyborg, with Spock's brother, I was just completely flabbergasted with the acting. I could not believe the quality of the acting on that movie. And I know there's other movies that are better. Even the motion picture, it is better cinematographically, but the character and the way they interacted on the 5th movie on the Final Frontier, it is just amazing. And the best part of that is McCoy and Spock. Spock has this scene where he's shown when he was a baby, when he was born. And it is his trauma, or so Cyborg and Kirk and everybody else thought. Then Spock says, "No, I have already worked on this trauma." And you remember the previous movies. He actually died being more human than most humans. And you have the speech of Kirk at the end of The Wrath of Khan. Out of us, he was the most human. and that breaks your heart, right? But yeah, Spock has become more human. Then he dies. Then on 3 he comes back, and he's less human. On 5, you see him confronting the worst trauma and being, yeah, I actually went through that, and I accepted my humanity is no longer a trauma. Please take that away. I don't care. That is a Spock for me. Even though he died and forgot everything, he got back, he analyzed his life. Maybe he chimed in the past Vulcan consciousness to download a bit of what he was, but it doesn't matter. All that matter is that he regained his humanity, his saneness, and he looks at this baby, and Cyback, his father, goes, so human, and that no longer breaks Spock's heart. Let's see, in the chat, I watched some The Next Generation and DS9 before. I was thinking about watching the original series and getting back into ST. Please do. Moira Kitty, I see you up here, but in your stream jar is your avatar. Because of my I'm actually using OBS, and the StreamYard. Okay, let me go to the StreamYard because I actually went off. And let's see, I'm entering the StreamYard. Sorry about that. Oh. Okay, and
But I can't see you.
we are in a loop.
It's small. It's small in here. Oh.
Hey. Okay, where's Dude, trying to do this?
Yeah, you're not. I'm not showing up either. It's weird.
Yeah, I'm
Oh, there I
working on
am.
it.
Okay, now it does. Okay, that was weird. Yeah, we're like kind of closed in here a little bit. I cannot get my light to adjust. That's why I'm sparkling really weird. And my neighbors and friends are being loud. Apparently.
Okay, Moira, tell me.
Hold on, let me turn it up because they're loud and I can't get. And when they start to drink, they get louder.
Okay.
So what?
Are you in speakers?
I'm sorry?
Are you in the speakers?
Yeah, I guess. What do you mean?
I'm having an echo.
I have to have it up so I can hear.
No, it's better. It's better now.
Okay.
Okay, newbie trying to get this done, and I close the YouTube studio, so now I'm blind on the YouTube side. Yay! Oh, okay, Moira, tell me. Do you like Star Trek?
Huh?
Do you like Star Trek?
Yeah, probably unpopular take. I like the most recent movies.
Ooh.
Yeah, I like that. Apparently, is not cool, but I'm like, hey, that made me like. Oh, that song "Sabotage." It made me like that song.
Okay. Now we need actually to make a watch party with Bone and see Star Trek, the original series, one of my favorites.
That's a long series.
It's only 3 seasons.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Oh, okay. It's only 3 seasons. It is.
Oh, 3 seasons. Okay.
Yeah. With 20 episodes each one, and it's just amazing. Trust me, it will blow your mind. The amount of detail they had on the sets.
Did y'all break a bottle? It sounded like they broke a bottle of alcohol. Oh,
Yeah.
tomorrow night will be worse because tomorrow night will be Sunday night. It's D&D night.
Dungeons and Dragons? Dude, that's amazing.
That's not amazing if I'm trying to live stream and they're right in the next fucking room. No, it's not. It's like listening to people trying to play dominoes.
I miss my old Dungeons and Dragons crew. They were good
I
people.
am the least nerdy person in this fucking house. My daughter, like everybody in the house likes anime but me. Well, Brian doesn't really like it. But they played D&D. Brian's nerdy in his own way, but like everybody else, like yeah, I don't fit in.
Nah.
I'm just like, oh, y'all a bad influence. Oof.
Hey, I'm a bad influence all the time.
And I don't know what's going on because like I see people commenting on the chat here, but I don't see it up here, which is weird.
Oh, it's because I'm using OBS. Actually, I was doing.
Why you gotta be like all extra and like use extra shit?
Okay, the beginning of the stream, I was doing it solo, so I was only using OBS. And I actually had planned to play a bit of Super Mario World and everything, but then we got into this amazing talk about Doctor Who. So I obviously had to change to StreamYards, and to do so, what I did is only share the screen on OBS, and if you see on the YouTube feed, I'm actually sharing my screen using OBS. Yeah, it is a long detour to make something really simple.
It is a lot. It's very extra.
But I was
Okay,
already.
I can see it on here. I see what you're showing
Yeah,
on here.
I was already on OBS, and and the stream
I
start.
tried all those fancy things that people told me to try for backgrounds. I was so glad when StreamYards made it just like, pick a picture and there you go. I'm like, thank God. Like, because that, like, I had someone talking me through it and I still couldn't make it work right. I was like, I can't do this. No.
But if you haven't seen Doctor Who, you have 50 years of amazingness.
The weird guy with the floofy hair and the scarf, I'd skip over those.
Oh no, trust me, those are wonderful.
Start with David Tennant. You'd be alright. And stop at the woman.
Yep. But Baker, the one with the scarf, is Baker. Baker is amazing. It's just amazing. He's a great doctor. My favorite doctor is Hartnell, the very first doctor.
Which one is that?
The very first.
The very first, like when it was black and white.
Yep.
That's the floofy guy with the scarf. I was like, avoid. He's weird looking.
Oh, he's amazing. And a fez. Don't forget the fez. On the first episode, he has this wonderful fez. It's a skin fez, by the way. Man.
A skin what?
A skin fez. You know, a furry fez. Those.
A skin fest, like party.
Fez. No. Fez. A fez is one of those sombreros, one of those hats.
Oh, those little tiny hats with those tassels?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, a fez. I thought you said fest, like festival, like fest.
No.
And I was like,
fez.
Skin fest? That sounds like an orgy.
But yeah, there's 50 years of Doctor Who amazingness, and trust me, the storytelling is spectacular. So
I never much watched it, although I was surprised to find out that the bad guy in Gone in 60 Seconds played Doctor Who as well. I was like, oh shit.
No, there has been a lot of actors.
Oh, there's been a lot of doctors. Yeah, David Tennant and, like I said, the bad guy from Gone in 60 Seconds, the British guy,
Yeah.
which is the only British guy I think in the entire. Wait, no, there's Spinks, and he just never spoke through the film until at one point they were like, he was like, "I thought you were from Detroit" or some shit like that. It was funny. Have you seen Gone in
Um,
60 Seconds?
I saw a part of it.
Man, we're gonna have to indoctrinate you.
Hey, if I can indoctrinate you with Doctor Who and Star Trek, all right.
I I might be able to work with certain Star Treks, but I may have to draw the line at Doctor Who. I have a rule where if it goes over a certain amount of seasons, I don't bother because it's just I can't. Like Supernatural. Someone's like, "Hey, do you ever watch Supernatural?" I'm like, "No, I'm about 15 seasons behind."
I only
Missed
saw
that
the first
train.
season.
Didn't even watch that. Plus, it's some weird ass shit that I kind of don't agree with and don't
No,
believe in, so to
okay.
speak.
Supernatural was a series that I wanted to get into because of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I thought it would be something like that, and I love Buffy.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, I used to watch the shit out of some Buffy.
Let's jump into Supernatural and let's see what happens. And it was not what I expected, so I abandoned the series.
Yeah, I saw one part of one episode. It was like a couple, but like different times, and one was like their characters were like I don't know what you would call it. It's like a fifth wall break kind of a situation where they kind of woke up and they were their actual actors on the set of the show, and so the characters are trying to figure out like why am I being called this name, but it's their real name, and
Yep.
the person's like, all right, you guys got to get your scripts ready and stuff, and they're like, so it's like their characters came over into this real world filming the show, and it was like weird. I was like, what?
I just showed the beginning of the intro, and actually, I guess the
Oh,
very first
okay.
episode is
I just
still on
looked
YouTube.
down and I'm seeing weird shit and expecting to see you and me. I'm like, what am I seeing?
Doctor Who.
And I woke up today. I started feeling it last night. I woke up today with bronchitis. And I'm like,
Oh, come on.
yeah, I'm
That
like,
sucks.
it does. It could be worse, but it's like, so like I'm afraid to go anywhere because I'll hear the cough and I'll be like, don't look at me like that. There are other things that make people cough.
Nah.
Yeah,
At least it's not the China virus.
Well,
China.
yeah, but nobody's gonna know that. Everybody's selling. I've seen people driving around with like masks on in their car when they're by themselves, and I'm like, you shower. These are probably the kind of people who would shower with their mask on.
No, those are the kind of people. Did you saw the image that us from Hills versus Babyface shirt yesterday? This wedding with the groom and the bride wearing face mask and making the kiss with the face mask.
I can't wait to see them consummate their marriage.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I said they are the kind of people that for sure, will try to conceive a baby wearing a condom.
We'll poke a hole in it though, so we can get the baby. But keep the condom to be safe.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god. Yeah, but yeah, I just see it so often, like in their car by themselves with the mask on. I'm like, is your car that nasty? And there's people like I'll see walking down the sidewalk, and there's like nobody else on that sidewalk. Like they're by themselves and they're wearing that mask, and I'm like, are you afraid it blows in the wind like pollen? Do you not know how viruses work?
No, they
Do you think
actually
there's
don't.
living cells that those viruses are in? They're just floating around in the wind like tumbleweeds? I mean, I can understand some people like put a mask on if they want to keep dust and stuff out of their face. Like that makes sense. But I've never seen people do it before. Now they're wearing it on the sidewalk by themselves, walking by themselves. I'm just like, are you afraid the tree's gonna get you sick?
I will not be surprised actually.
I'm just amazed by people. It's like y'all are too damn obedient. Have some sense.
If the government on your country is right, they are not obedient enough.
Well, no tyrannical government ever thinks their people are obedient enough. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, we do have more rights than some countries. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we don't, but they've been slowly chiseling away at that for a long, long time,
Yep.
and they're fantastic at pitting people against each other. Like, yeah. I mean, it's like this. I don't know if it's really considered a meme, but it was something I saw on Facebook or Twitter, and someone said, always when I read stories about World War II, I wondered how could people just stand around and let it happen. And then as I got older, I started to realize. Now, don't get me wrong, like if I'm going into a store to go get a couple of things and they ask me to wear a mask, I'll have it with me just in case. And I'll be like, yeah, let's put it on. No, I'm only gonna be in there for a few minutes. If I go into a place that doesn't have it, or I go into a place and like people are like 50-50 wearing masks, I probably won't. I don't I don't go hugging up on customers anyway. So like I'm not gonna be near anybody, and I don't do this to vegetables instead. I see something I want, I pick it up, I put it in the bag. No putting my hand germs all over everything. I don't do that. I was kind of germophobic before this, but I'm not as germophobic compared to a lot of people right now.
No, I get you. I wear
Like,
the I wear the mask outside because my mom is 60 years old. So if I get anything, she gets
well, yeah,
it.
but I mean that could
Yeah,
literally be anything. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah,
people act
yeah.
like COVID's the only thing that exists right now. They have no idea. A lot of people don't
No,
even realize how
but
many things are out there. Right?
COVID right now is maybe the most dangerous for her age. For her age.
Any disease can be the most dangerous for our age. To be fair, but
Okay.
I'm not saying don't take precautions.
Statistically,
I'm just saying like everybody's acting like COVID is like some
but
amazing
yeah,
like.
if I were alone, I most likely won't even use a mask. I mean, in the right age, so I could just don't wear a mask and there will be no issue whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, I know. I mean, I'm not faulting you for it. Honestly, like I'm making fun of people who like just take it so far, and it's like I've heard people saying they wear it in their own house, and I'm like,
Oh no, my grandparents, they
these are folks that don't necessarily even live with nobody though, and I'm like,
oh yeah, my
yeah, like people
grandparents
take it
haven't
too
left
far.
the comfort of confinement for a year. They have gone to their other house on the outsides, but they still go to that house and they stay inside of the house, which defeats all purpose of
Yeah, because you need fresh air and sunshine. Like people need that,
Yeah, but, my
or they're
grandparent
gonna end
is
up making
a
themselves sicker in
physician
one way or
and
another.
he is 94, so he has a bunch of apprehensiveness towards virus, and he is old enough to actually be writing his concerns. So,
Well, yeah, but like if there's nobody else around, there's nothing wrong with going
yeah, yeah,
outside
yeah,
and
yeah.
sitting in a lawn
No,
chair and getting some sun and fresh air.
dude, those days, the other day, I went to the store, okay? I was supposed to get some fresh vegetables. And when I was halfway to the store, I noticed I was not wearing my mask. Because you know what? Normally, you don't even think about it.
Right.
So I improvised a mask right there and there, and I did whatever I could to get by. But the real trouble there is that you know what? I liked being outside not wearing a mask. I I actually enjoyed the sensation of you. And here we can go to prison if you don't wear a mask, they can get you to prison.
That's amazing. You can go outside, you go to jail for not having a mask on, so they'll put you in possibly a crowded prison with a bunch of other people.
Yeah, that's exactly how it works.
What common
Or you
sense?
can have a 10 minimum wage worth of a multi of a fine. So yeah, it is crazy. It is an authoritarian government, so I'm not
Or
surprised.
there's states here that act like that too, and they're not necessarily doing very good. So like,
Yeah,
their stupid
I
behavior.
know what you
I mean,
mean.
there's people who've been accused of like or found guilty of rape, theft, all kinds of stuff, and they're released from prison due to overcrowding and COVID. But they'll put you in jail if you don't have a mask.
Ah, man.
You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah, yeah.
like, our
No,
country's kind
I
of
see what
retarded
you
in
are
some
saying.
regards too.
I'm just saying, you know what? At this point, you do what you have to do to survive. And if
Yeah,
I
that's not
want
always a
to
good thing.
avoid
That has not
prison,
always panned out well because it
yeah,
didn't pan out well for other people.
yeah, I know. But if I want to avoid prison, most likely I have
I think you
to.
should start. I think you should start a revolution. You're hot. Do it.
Dude, in my country,
Bitches
a
will love it.
revolution. Yeah, last guy that actually tried to run against my president got into jail. So
For what?
it doesn't matter. He was running against my president.
They didn't pick a charge.
No.
Wow, they just threw him in jail for the fuck of it.
Yeah, that's how it works on a
That is
lefty
so
country.
wild. Yeah, you're. Oh yeah, that's right. Your new president's a piece of shit. I forgot.
And the next president will be worse.
Oh,
My current
probably because the
president.
president, the president. I forgot you're in Ecuador. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
my
president you had before was giving asylum to Julian Assange, and then when the new president came in, he took bribes and let
no,
the
no, no, no. The
foreign
reasoning
people come into
for
the
kicking
embassy and
out
take.
Julian Assange is because he was a shitty person on the embassy. He actually
That's
used
what
to
they. That's
go.
what they
No,
said.
no,
The
no, no, no.
last guy didn't have a problem.
There's video about they are in a reunion. They are in a meeting with high dignitaries, and he goes there nude, with his cat.
Well, you're literally taking the word of a guy who threw his opponent in jail for running against him.
No, there's the video, and the video was released by a third party. So yeah, Julian Assange was a crazy, crazy man. I'm not saying that I'm not in favor of what he did with the
But it's
information.
kind of wild they let foreign personnel go into the embassy and roust him out like that.
No, his room was in the middle of the embassy.
Well, yeah, and they let it wasn't Ecuadorian people who went and got him. They allowed foreign like British or whoever to go in and get him.
Yeah.
That just seems weird. That seems weird.
No. Okay, how it works? If your country allow someone from another country to enforce their ruling inside the embassy, they can operate however they want. But you have to give consent for that to happen. So
Well, that's what
what?
I'm saying. They allowed that to happen, and I
Yeah,
find that
exactly.
weird.
Yeah, and the reasoning was not political. The reasoning was because the ambassador was tired of the
Then why did they wait till the next president came in and then
No, no, no,
let
no.
him?
Okay, the old president was Rafael Correa. He made that his successor will get into power. That is Lenin Moreno. Lenin Moreno is from the same party. He is,
Hey,
yeah,
just because someone's from the same party don't mean they're the same people
no,
necessarily.
but you know, he is his second coming, as you will say. Lenin Moreno is the next Rafael Correa, and the guy that will succeed Lenin Moreno is Arauz, and Arauz is exactly in the same vein, and they are from the same party. They started in politics at the same time. They are a bunch of cunts.
Dude, you and your like friends have got together and do something wild.
Okay, I told you the other day that my grandparent is a cartoonist. The only time that he was actually scared, and I mean scared, of drawing was while Rafael Correa was on power. He stopped drawing. He had to stop because there's a bunch of cartoonists and journalists that got in jail or were disappeared. If you go against my government, you disappear.
Oh, we're the same way. People will disappear here if you, or they'll be brought up on bullshit charges like, oh,
It is not even a bullshit
conspiracy and
charge.
this and that.
Okay, a
Like,
lot of opponents of my president got in the way of a bullet in the middle of the street with their families. That is the reality of a lefty country. If you speak out of line, you die. There's a
they can't
reason
kill
why I
everybody.
am not doing political commentary on my country or my language. If I do, I'm fucked.
Makes me want to say some shit then.
Yeah,
Rise up, people. Pitchforks, whatever. Do something wild.
that's
There's got to be enough people sick of that shit.
yeah,
I
but
wish America would get their shit together. We have
okay,
better
this happened
fights.
the last time there was something big against my government. The indigenous people did this huge. Well, they were actually trying to take my city, the city where I live. They get here. They plant some bombs. They do some weird shit, and they get the city for 2 weeks.
That's it? They have
No,
2 weeks, that's it?
my sister was in the middle of this. She was with the indigenous people, and there was a truce, a ceasefire, and everybody went out of La Casa de la Cultura. That is the place where they were entrenching themselves.
Alright.
Yeah. They even start to give food to the policemen. And Maria Paula Romo, that I actually know her personally, she was a friend of my aunt before this, orders the military to shoot on sight. At that moment, during the truce, my sister got shot in the head. She has her skull destroyed, completely destroyed with a bullet.
I can't believe they obeyed that order. What the fuck?
That is how it works. That is how they operate. There was children there. Children got shot. Children died there. And I mean, a 3-year-old got shot in the face. That was a direct hit.
Whoever gave that order should be shot.
Maria Paula
That's
Romo.
fucked up.
That is the fucker that gave the order.
That's what a ceasefire is about. Is a like
yeah, but
not firing.
she was the second in command of my country, and she
Well,
decided.
bitch is crazy.
Yeah,
The bitch is crazy.
yeah. So
But you don't folks shouldn't act like that.
there's a bunch of people that have tried to actually oppose my government. They are either dead, in jail, or they got killed in jail.
That's not uncommon here in America for sure.
Yeah. So
shit gets skeezy, man. Like certain people get killed in jail for it.
oh no, here they say it was an act of sicaries of
Suicide here, like you suicide yourself here.
No. Here they just shot them in the face. They don't even take care of saying it was suicide or anything. They just do it.
Oh well, America still wants to try to keep appearances.
No, there's no appearance here. We know that our government wants us dead.
Dude, if I ever get super rich, I'm gonna like fund y'all.
That will be fun. Really, really fun. Trust me. But no,
Bring y'all over for a little while, let y'all get some practice in, and then like, yeah.
Yeah, that will be really, really fun. Let's admit it. No,
Of course, if I do get rich and like if I do become governor, man, that would be the most impressive scandal and like a state governor probably probably since the people run New York. It's like so apparently an
since
Oklahoma
the
governor
people.
tried to help a coup happen in Ecuador.
Okay, one of the coups that actually happened here in Ecuador was made possible because of the U.S. embassy.
I'm not surprised, but they do it for their own. I would be doing it for for people not to be shot in the streets, to help people defend themselves.
No. They sent Marines out. Yeah.
Ooh, when was this?
2000.
Oh, okay, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It
That was
was
before I started fully giving a shit about things.
okay. No, it was
To
crazy,
be
man.
fair, I was like 19, so to be fair.
I have been in the middle of the street while shots are being fired between the military and rebels, trying to buy something in downtown Quito.
Dang,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
it has been a crazy, uh, not even decade. It has been the last 3 decades of craziness. We got eight presidents in the span of 10 years. We kicked one after another.
I think something more stealthy than a regular coup is required.
Yeah, you wish.
Well, apparently brawls in the street don't pan out so well, so something more precise may be
No,
required.
actually, this is connected with what's going on in the United States and worldwide. These
Oh,
people,
fuck.
yeah, they are from the same group
What are we doing
of
now?
the Great
Oh,
Reset,
damn it.
and I mean it.
Oh, I don't
I
doubt it. I'm sure the U.S. always likes to get their nose in
I
someone's
have
business. So,
Ed in the same table as the guy that invented the concept of the 21st century socialism that is now called the Great Reset. Yep.
I missed seeing T-shirts saying the Great Reset, but I had no idea what the fuck it was about.
It is a political theory about how power and economics should work. So basically, as long as you have a bunch of idiots with resources, you can trust how society will come. But if the government controls everything, then the government can decide how everything should work. For that, as long as there's people with money, you cannot actually control people. So you take the money out of the equation. Every single industry comes to be part of the state. Every single job is part of the state. Everything is part of the state. This actually has already happened on Venezuela. And in Venezuela, if you want to, for instance, purchase something in a store, there's a cleric and an attendee, and the attendee exists only because the state forced you to have an extra employee because no one can be without a job. So the store is from the government, and the government sent a bunch of people there to work on dummy jobs because they need them to work to be able to pay them. You cannot work if you are not working for the state. You cannot get paid if you are not working for the state, and you cannot purchase anything if you are not working for the state. That is the model. That is the actual original model of the 21st century socialism. Then the idea of doing it.
It sounds like they're putting a brand new label on something old.
Yeah, it is feudalism. But this is the big idea. That is the big idea. That is the big concept.
Yeah, you gotta get the fuck out of there, dude.
Yeah, but I will have to get out of this planet to run from that. Your country is falling into that right now.
I know, but at least it's like jumping onto a ship that's not already sunk, though.
Yeah, the only place I can see is Japan. They really don't give a fuck about anything that is going on. They just don't. They don't give a fucking crap about anything that is going on right now. And
I
there's
don't know
a
if I have enough. I don't know if I have enough manners to live in Japan.
I have good Japanese manners.
I'm sure you do. I said I'm doubting me, not you. I don't doubt you. I doubt me.
まあそんな
And
こと
plus, apparently, they're not
で
fond of people wearing tattoos there.
そんなことで知ってなんだかしような。There's something to do about it. Oh, Bone says I would love to live in Japan. Dude, I was really, really near of living in Japan. Really, really near. I had a letter from my Japanese teacher saying that I was actually a good asset for Japan. I screwed that up royally. My bad.
They're so cute. My bad. Turn on your camera. We want to see you.
But the camera is not properly working unless I could OBS, and if I could OBS, the stream falls.
But you had your camera on a little bit ago.
Yeah, because I was on OBS.
Oh my god, you're difficult.
Dude, I'm doing this improv.
You're a very difficult man. Oh!
Oh yeah, I am.
Meow.
Hey. And
Hi.
device is not connected. Oh, come on, give me a break, man. Okay, I'm back. I kicked
Yay!
out
I was
of my own
like,
stream
hi,
trying to get the
everybody.
camera working. Yeah, that works. Oh man.
So how much would it be? Do you have a passport?
I have a passport. The
Yeah,
visa
that's
is
a
the
good
issue.
start. That's a good start.
Yeah. No.
How
Actually,
much
my
is a flight?
Yeah, my passport is squeaky clean.
Nice. I imagine it has to be. It's kind of hard to have a passport that isn't.
No, you can fuck
If you're
up
in the
in a
US,
lot
at
of
least you're in
countries
the
and
US.
get a lot of seals that will make you impossible to go to another country.
Oh.
Yeah, they actually, if you got arrested or something and you get deported, that counts in your passport. They seal it in your passport. Yeah, no, mine is squeaky clean, but the visa process, I will take like 3 years and pay like $1,500 just to try to get the visa. It is not sure that I can get it. It is the time and the amount of money that you spent on the process. Yeah, I have
Well,
been.
I mean, okay. I'm not. I've never traveled out of the U.S. So, like, do you need a passport and a visa, or just a passport,
No,
or
you
just a
need a
visa?
passport and a visa.
Oh.
And the visas are on different levels. You can have a
Well, I
work
know they got
visa.
work visas and
Yeah.
all kinds of shit.
But yeah, that's how it works. So yeah, I have thought about going to the US actually. I have. I want to go there, work a lot, get myself some pretty things, but I currently can't.
So what do I do? Do I like? How do I? Do I just send them like
I'm not sure. Let me
employer
look how that works.
identification number and send you an email so you can show them that I'm hiring you or something? You have to
Yeah,
come here
I
to do
guess there's something like that. Yeah, but
it?
I
Okay.
think it is something.
I can try to do that, and then because I got it officially from the IRS, so like
Yeah.
I can look it up and see like what all it allows me to do and everything.
But then the real question is, how hard is right now to get a job in the US?
It It's really not. It depends on what you. I mean, you seem like you have many skills, so I think there's a lot of doors open for you. Honestly,
Yeah, I actually do.
like if you wanted to work in a beer bar, like it is super easy to get like a license to do so to serve alcohol. I think last I checked, it cost like $30. You just have to have no felony, and they just give it to you, and then you can work in any bar. They'll hire you. That's not a problem. There's restaurants because a lot of our restaurants are open here in Oklahoma.
All I want
Uh,
is not to pull a bad woman, you know? I don't want to be living in a van down by the river.
oh, very good Saturday Night Live reference. Very nice. No, no. If worst came to worst, like you could crash out in here in this room. This is my streaming room, but like worst came to worst, like I'm not gonna leave you like live under a bridge, dude. Like
What
no,
is
that's
doing that naked Latino on your set?
why would you be naked in here? That's just weird. Anyway, but the door has a lock on it though. The door has a lock on it though. So like you could lock it from the inside. And so like yeah, you could like help me edit shit and
Yeah.
do whatever, like, when you're not doing something else if you want. But like yeah.
No, dude, I actually do enjoy editing. It's one of the skills
I
that.
suck at it.
Oh no, I had to learn. I was doing this event for in my country on the Secretary of Education. There's a way to actually check if they are doing the things right with another part of the government that is called the INEVAL.
Ooh.
And those guys actually were doing this huge event. I had to prepare the whole setup. It was the socialization of the plan they had for Quito, for Guayaquil, and for Esmeraldas. So there's three big cities with huge events going on with a week of distance between each other. And I had to develop the software for the presentation because there was this small gadget that you will put your hand over it and it will register the movement of your hand. Depending of the movement, it will show one part of the presentation or will play a video or scroll on the page or whatever, right? So it was fancy. It looked almost like Iron Man kind of setup. Yeah, it was fun. It was really, really fun. But the videos were not finished when I needed. So I had to learn right there how to edit videos. And edit, I mean edit. Set the audio right, make everything work, and make it work on a gigantic screen. So it was a fun experience, a really fun experience. But I didn't sleep for 2 weeks. At the end of the Guayaquil presentation, I went out to the park, and I felt asleep in the park in a seat in the park. Just went away. I was tired. The event was over. Everything went perfectly. I walked like a block, found this place to sit down, and fell asleep. And yeah, someone woke me up like an hour later. Everything was fine. I tried to get some weed, went to a toy store, and then to the hotel to sleep for like 10 hours straight. And yeah, it was a quite interesting situation. Before that, I could not sleep because the software was not ready, the video was not ready, anything was how it was supposed to be. So I had to work. I wanted it or not. I had to keep working, go for some Red Bull, um, and stay awake.
Nice. So let's see. What kind of things can you do? Do you know how to fix vehicles?
Not so much. Electrical parts, yes. Mechanical
Okay.
parts, depending on the layout.
All right. So you're really well versed in electronics.
Yeah.
Okay. That's quite a few doors open for you there. Um, well, I don't know what to do about workpieces. Yeah, here in Oklahoma, like they kind of extended the mask mandate thing again, but like a lot of places are open, and so uh, there's like electronic stores. Uh, there's a Costco. Now Costco doesn't sound that fabulous, but they pay their employees like really well,
Okay.
and like yeah, I heard they pay better than anyone, and they treat their employees better than like any other store. And Costco is basically like Walmart. It's just they sell a little of everything. So like that would be something that would you get like
Yeah, I
yeah
get you. My best
like
friend went there without any kind of real skill, but he is a hard worker. So he got into Amazon delivery, and yeah, he's delivering packages for Amazon.
yeah you could do that too if you wanted to. Like I've heard Amazon treats their employees really shitty, so I was
Yeah.
not going to suggest that. But like I've heard nothing but good things about Costco. It's a little further from where I live. It's like 15-20 minutes away. So I mean, it's not bad. Like it's not out of state or anything like that. It's further than I normally go. But there's like all kinds of places. It would probably take you.
By the way, Bon on the chat says that I should do some videos about geek culture in Ecuador. Yes, I will love that. And if man, I miss the Star Wars fan club Quito. And there was this huge events, the Dragon, um, the Budokan, some big events for cosplaying, for anime, for nerd culture. But right now, all that is obviously closed because um, the world is crazy.
Yeah, I gotta say, like Oklahoma is probably like one of the least crazy. It's Oklahoma, and there's like a couple other places that have like reduced their crazy. So yeah,
Oh
uh,
no, here
yeah, you
is.
would probably do fine here. Actually, I think you would.
Okay, I have been trying to do this video for Gary for Netrotic. Here we have this huge museum of everything pre-Incaik, everything pre-Columbine. From antiques to actual mummies.
I'm sorry.
Mummies, like the mummy from the.
Oh, yeah, like Boris Karloff mummy. Got it. Yeah, I got a
But
poster.
the director of that museum has been changed this year 6 times.
Oh, I
So
mean those new mummy movies? Oh, God, they need to quit. They need to stop. They should
uh,
have stopped it too.
no, I mean the museum has changed the directive. The CEO, the head of the museum, has been replaced 6 times. So the shitty place is closed until someone actually takes control and do something. But that may take some time. So yes, I'm trying to go to that museum to see the good parts, the alien related parts. But it's kind of hard to go to a place that is permanently closed. I have tried though. Dude, once I got into a morgue, don't ask me why. And yeah, it was fun. It was easy, right? Really, really easy, to be honest.
Most people wouldn't want to go in, I imagine.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people want to actually get inside a morgue.
I've seen
But
movies that start out like that. It's not good.
no, okay. On La Universidad Central, on the biggest college of my country, there's the dentistry faculty. The How do you call the guys that fix your teeth?
Dentist.
Dentistry, right? So dentistry is the right word. Uh,
Unless it's something super involved, like you need braces and this and that, then they're
yeah,
orthodontists.
and there they have a morgue, so people can practice, and people from medicine actually go there. And one of the tests is for you to sit down and eat in the morgue with the corpses around. If you can do that, and if you cannot eat while someone is opening a corpse, you cannot be a physician. It's that easy.
Well, why in the world would anybody be eating in a surgical theater in the first place, though? That's pretty fucked.
Yeah, but you will see shit way more fucked up. And if you cannot handle your meal
Stomach?
while seeing that, you are not you are not you are not good for that.
Working on somebody is a little different than like having food on your stomach while you're
Yeah,
looking at them. It's a little different.
unless you see an accident where someone has lost many limbs and is actually pregnant and you have to operate, and that kind of situation happens a lot if you are a physician. So you have to actually take it. You have to have an still stomach to take it, to go into the room and do whatever you have to do. So
I
this
think I'd
is,
rather be a dentist than a surgeon.
yeah,
Holy shit.
but the dentist actually practice on the corpses.
Well, I mean, that's kind of bad though, because like if you're doing it wrong or you're not doing a good enough job, like the patient can't
Yeah,
tell you.
but if you are doing it wrong and you are doing it in a living patient, that is even
Well,
more
like
fucked
here
up.
we have a dentistry school where they'll like do it for cheap or free, get like do your tooth fillings and stuff, and so the students can like practice
Yeah,
while
but
their
before
teacher is
that,
standing
you
over them.
actually have to know how to prevent an hemorrhage or something like that. So you actually have to take a lot of care to be a dentist.
Well, yeah,
It is a physician. It is a kind of
yeah, it is a
physician.
doctor. It's just it's not quite
Yeah,
as
yeah, yeah.
same as cracking open the rib cage, yo.
So there's this place, and with a friend, we wanted to see the dead people, because we were young and we thought will be fun, and we actually got in.
Gross.
Yeah, then I was studying to be a physician. I was in the propedeutic, that means the first year before you actually start the career. And I had to do the part where you have to actually sit down and eat with the corpses. It was not a deal breaker. The deal breaker was actually handling the living people. I am the kind of physician that if you come and tell me, can I bathe my child that is with diarrhea? I will tell you, well, if the diarrhea is enough, yeah, you can.
I mean, that's true though. So yeah, dehydration.
Hey, Diego Flores, ¿cómo vamos, hermano?
Oh, hello.
Yeah,
I can't see the chat on here, so I have to look
yeah,
over there.
no worries. Yeah, I had to do that. It was kind of soft for me. My grandparent actually thought that I would be a great physician because I didn't care about that kind of stuff. But I was terrible with people. I was terrible with people. I was on a Doctor House level of being an asshole with the patient. So
Telling them that their child could die from diarrhea is not being an asshole. It's honest.
no, 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 no,
Because
no,
if
no,
they
no,
don't
no.
realize how
If you
serious it
can
is, they're
bathe,
not gonna.
if your son while having diarrhea can take a bath, and my response will be, well, if the diarrhea is enough, yeah, you can take a bath in diarrhea. Because I don't care about the yeah,
Well, I mean, you're not wrong though. So it's like,
yeah, but that's the kind of joke that you don't do with a lady that is really
yeah,
preoccupied.
don't crack jokes. Yeah, don't crack jokes.
Yeah, I cannot take it seriously, or I at that point of my life I could not take it seriously. I didn't really care for that part of the human connection. I wanted to do my job and do it quickly. So biology was a better alternative for me, and that's why I went to biology. Because the propedeutic of medicine was a shit show with me. I was great with the scalp. I was great with sutures. I was amazing at some things, but the human contact, yeah, that was not going to happen.
You're probably better now.
Maybe. I will not be that sure. I'm a bit of an asshole in tense situations.
You don't seem like it.
You haven't seen me in a situation where there's a bomb and someone has to dismantle it. I normally will do rock, paper, scissors and then give the guy a tobacco so he can go with class, maybe.
Huh?
If you are dying in an explosion, the least you can do is smoke your last cigarette. Yeah, I'm an asshole. And maybe that's the main issue with that career. I could not be a physician.
There's a lot of assholes in hospitals here in America.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I have heard that.
Well, I
I came
mean,
here
not a deal
and
breaker.
we are talking about corpses. About
Oh, if
college.
you're okay with corpses, technically there's funeral homes too. You got those?
Those are
I would
boring.
say decent. I imagine. I mean, I can't imagine that being minimum wage.
No, those are boring.
Hey, don't. Not every job's gonna be super exciting.
Yeah, but it's full of dead people.
You said you were okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with eating with dead people. I'm not okay being all day with people that won't laugh at my jokes. And if a corpse starts to
It would
laugh,
not
I
stop me from
will
telling them.
be.
It would not stop me from telling them my jokes anyway.
Yeah, but if a corpse starts to laugh, I will be really concerned.
I'd be like, I'm sure you're laughing on the inside.
That's even worse. How is it going? Movies and comics are us. Hello, man.
Meow Games. How are you?
Yeah. We were actually a lot
Being
longer than
weirdos.
I
We're being
expected,
weirdos.
so we are just making small talk.
Yes, we're just being weirdos.
Oh yeah, that Back to the Future shirt rocks.
It was
Oh yeah.
$7 at Walmart.
Seriously?
Yeah,
Man.
$7 or $8 or something like that. I'm a broke girl. I don't even get poor clothes. Like usually I go to a thrift store, but sometimes the thrift stores, I don't know, they get a little out of pocket and they start charging about the same price like regular stores would. I'm like, shh, fuck you.
Don't worry. My clothes are $10 or less normally.
Same here.
Yeah, in Ecuador, that's actually quite easy to do. You just need to go to one of the markets where they sell counterfeit and such, and you can get
Oh
it.
my god, I want a fake Louis Vuitton purse. I want.
I don't know about purses.
Well, what good at telling counterfeit items you can't have a fake Louis Vuitton purse?
Yeah, but trust me, if I buy a purse, maybe it won't be the right one. Most likely.
Just get the brown and gold one. The
Do they
traditional
come in
looking one.
brown?
That's its common color is brown.
As I said, I'm not really good at purses.
Figured you might at least accidentally seen a Louis Vuitton once in your life.
Maybe.
You know what? I wonder. Hey, do you think we should go over and pester Manga? That'd be fun.
Manga?
Mungo.
Oh,
Yeah, you haven't met Mungo?
yeah.
Yeah. Him and Jay Eccentric are on. I decided to come over here to visit you though. Y'all were streaming at the same time, and I'm like, man, it's tough trying to balance this.
Yeah, actually, I was planning to do it like an hour and a half. Then, well, that talk with that 70s rock fan was fucking amazing. I love
And he
having.
seemed nice. I wasn't able to stay. I wasn't here long enough to quite catch all of it. So, and plus we were eating at the table, so I couldn't really hear what was being said. I was just giving you watch time.
Okay.
I can only make out bits of it.
Yeah, but everything went
He
way
seemed nice. I
different.
looked like I could hear him. He seemed nice.
Oh, he's great, and dude, he loves Doctor Who.
And he's Scottish, and like I have a thing for Scottish. So heck yeah, like
Ooh.
cool accents all over the place. Like hell yeah. Good job.
No, man. One day, I want to make a huge panel with Doctor Who fans and just talk about random shit. Not even complaining, just talk about random shit. That will be so.
I'm asking if they want company.
Other thing that I want to do, but this I want to do with Paulie. And I want to get Paulie in here and just watch a couple of Latin American shows, a couple of episodes of the Chavo del Ocho or something like that. And just rant about what we are seeing.
Right on. They're talking about movies right now. Poor Mongo. That was cute. His friend is like really enthused about something. He's like, uh huh. It was cute.
Well, yeah. Well, I guess we are on the 3 hours and a half mark.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
More the merrier.
I guess we can jump at this point. Hey, Moira, do you have anything to plug?
Franchise that has spanned over 60.
Sorry, that's like.
Do you have anything to plug?
Do I have what?
Anything to plug? Your channel or?
That's it. That's me.
Okay.
You want to come visit at some point? That's where my shit's at.
On my side.
I'm bad at plugging myself. I really am.
On my side, I'm doing each Monday the IT Crowd reviews. No one is watching them. I don't care. I love the series. And yeah, I guess I'll be in the next Progressive Park next week. And today the theme was the Suez drift. Did you saw what happened with the huge boat in the Suez Canal?
Yeah, like shit went sideways, literally.
Yeah, that's the Suez drift.
I didn't know it was even that fucking narrow.
I bet the guy was playing Need for Speed at the same time as he was handling the ship, and he tried to drift in the canal all the way. But it failed, and right now the social economical situation in the world is worse because an asshole stuck his boat in a canal. So, yeah.
I think that's hilarious. Like, it's messed up, but it's like hilarious.
Yeah. Next week, I guess we will be talking about. Let's see. I will be talking about old anime. This Thursday will be the first episode, the first review of Stargate. SG1. And yeah, that will be it for today. See you soon.
Meow.
And there.
Yeah, on